Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love this.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer. The Coop.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be on this.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Show.
Well, we have a contract extension for a member of your Edmonton Oilers. He wears a number that starts with 9. By now, you know it's Vasily Podkolzin, who I think is an intriguing talent and could be a very important player moving forward. We're going to discuss that. You will hear from him. You will hear from Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch as we move through the afternoon. The Oilers have a preseason game tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. It starts at 6 o'clock. If you subscribe to Oilers Plus, you can watch it. Home game tomorrow against Seattle. That'll be at 7 at Rogers Place. The Elks back at practice today as they get ready for another massive game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That is Saturday at 5 on Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. We will have the Green and Gold kickoff show with my buddy Jay Milne and Matthew Wannock. That'll be at 4 o'clock on Saturday, and then they'll be on after the game to break it down as well. Still a lot of discussion about the upcoming changes in the Canadian Football League. That will remain a big topic on the show this afternoon. And who knows what else we'll get into. We'll talk a little bit Monday Night Football and some other fun stuff along the way. I'm Reid. He's Jay. How are you doing, buddy?
Excellent.
Koob is at the technical desk. Well, he actually just got up to go for a second, but Zachary Kubish is here as well. Jay has something, just to tease it. I don't want to totally give it away. Jay took a very interesting photograph. When?
Well, truth be told, the photograph was taken by my mother-in-law.
Oh, interesting.
But it was in our yard.
Scandalous.
Scandalous is right.
This is a potential X-file of a photo.
This could be controversy of the year.
Gosh, I think the way you pronounce that could be controversy of the year. But that's all right.
Yeah, I've been hunting this elusive picture for quite some time. And my mother-in-law got it today.
Oh, so this is something that's been a goal of yours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That makes it even, that's quite, wow. That's good.
Well, it's there whenever you're not ready for it to be, and then it's gone.
Of course, right.
And today, she got it. She got it.
It happened.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is going to be in a few minutes, the off-topic topic.
Right.
For William Huff. It'll be quite interesting. Our guests today include Elks returner / running back Javon Leake, Simoni Lawrence from the Hamilton Tiger Cats Audio Network, a former member of the Double E, very well-spoken, entertaining analyst who's been on this station before, first time on this show, but he's going to be on. We'll get his reaction to the rule changes. Dave Jameson, who I'm sure, well, unless you're brand new to the station or brand new to Edmonton, perhaps.
This is like an anaconda taking
there he
down
is.
a pig.
That's him. Longtime Edmonton media personality and or media relations personality. Well, and he was briefly the president of the Edmonton Rush as well. Just a well-connected, highly intelligent individual. So he did media relations. I think, what was he? VP of communications, but media relations was part of that. He did that for a long time for the Esks. So knows about that world. I want to ask him, okay, so you're the media relations guy for for the BC Lions. What are you thinking when Nathan Rourke does that yesterday? What have you been thinking?
Yeah. That'll be fantastic.
I would have been like, great. Oh, no fires to put out today. Just a quiet day making players available to the media. No big deal.
I'm excited to hear that. I want to know what his response to that would have been.
Right.
And, I don't know because I think it was so bang, bang after practice, and they couldn't have found out much before or prior to practice.
Right.
So I don't know how much time there would have been to intervene anyhow. But it would be interesting to see how old J-Mo would have handled that.
Well, we made the point yesterday, and we played almost the entire... Well, we played the entire scrum that was pertinent to the rule changes, because then there was a couple, I think, on the team and trying to make the playoffs and all that. But we made the point, he sort of complained about some things that didn't need no complaining.
Well, that didn't change.
Right.
The waggle, 1 yard line separating them. 12 players on the field.
Yeah, 3 downs.
3 downs.
Yes, all those things you're listing off didn't change. No, the size of the field changed.
Yeah.
Uprights changed. Fair enough. I doubt he'd care, but did he even say anything about the benches? I mean, that was obviously that had to change. So
he said he liked the benches.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? But that's, and I want to ask Dave as well, and I know we've talked about this with the Oilers stuff as well. The players are adults. They're going to be asked questions by other adults. It's a professional environment. Despite the odd thing that gets out of control, it's usually quite civil and controlled and professional.
Yep.
So I want to ask Dave what he thinks of that, and if he were the media relations person in that situation, like when you're walking Rourke over to the scrum, or you take him in and say, hey, just a refresher, you're going to be asked about the rule changes, because they got to get into the mode from going to practice now to answering questions. Just a reminder, you're going to be asked about the rule changes. Do you know what they are? And, are you comfortable? Do you need anything from me? Now, a player might just say, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's an adult. It's not like your kid said he brushed his teeth and you're pretty darn sure he didn't brush his teeth, and you're going to have to go stand in the bathroom and hold his wrist and help him brush his teeth.
That's a good one.
But by the same token, do you have to say to a player, okay, just a reminder, your owner voted for this and his name's on your paycheck? You know what I mean? Like, is that a consideration as well? I don't know.
I mean, I don't necessarily think you're there to muzzle them, especially on something
I'm
what
not suggesting that.
Right? But, how much is your role to limit any damage?
Yeah.
Because I think, I don't know. I'm not sure Nathan Rourke came out looking all that great after that. Now, to those that are on his side and say, yeah, this is garbage, these rules shouldn't have changed, why'd they change the rules? Okay, he's your hero. But a lot of people, I think, and now we're 24 hours after, 24 hours plus, have possibly come around to the idea that this isn't Americanizing the game as much as they would have think. I can understand why you would say, well, Jay, it's a 100-yard field and the field goals are at the back. I understand that, but I think the improvements are there to try and improve and make a better product on the field.
Right.
And I wonder if you asked him that same question now, what his answer would be.
Yeah, if he might tone it down a little bit. I mean, or say, hey, I'm a big fan of tradition. It's going to be hard for me to see some of these changes, but I also respect, some people put a lot of time and effort into this and consider what might work and what might not work. And let's see how it goes. Yeah, we'll talk to Dave about that. But isn't that an all round, isn't that us as Canadians? Well, we're not American.
Sure.
We're afraid of the Americanization of everything.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's part of how we define ourselves as Canadians, I think, is we're not Americans. We just aren't them. It's like sometimes it's even like, well, what is that? Well, I don't know, we're just not them. If you have to think, you'd have to think about it to make a list, maybe. But that's just a whole. I think that goes for sports and arts and culture and a whole bunch of other things. What are we? Well, not American. Like, we have SCTV. It's not SNL. It's better.
We got a spicy person in the nasty chat, Reid.
Oh, do we have to? Is it someone who needs to go?
No, he says, Jay, how much is Johnston paying you to say this?
Oh, jeez,
to me,
amazing.
I'll say that's none of your business, Amwalk. That's a deal between me and Stewart Johnston. That's private. And B, he also says anyone who isn't on Rourke's side is a TSN bootlicker. I don't know how this has to do anything with TSN, by the way. What does this have to do with TSN?
Well, TSN is the rights holder for the league, and Stewart Johnston used to work at TSN. But like I said yesterday, is that a bad thing that there might be a commissioner who's aware of what the TV partner
who knows how to
wants,
get a good TV
who wants good TV?
terrible.
Who wants anything like that? Yeah.
How dare you ask me what Stewart Johnston's paying me to take his side? How dare you?
Yeah. Is that a buddy of yours? It must be a buddy of yours.
I don't know any people in my life called MWalk.
Well, they wouldn't use their real name.
Well, hey, I just appreciate that you're listening.
Yeah.
And we don't have to agree. That's the beauty about all this. We don't have to. If you think that these changes stunk and you're never going to watch a CFL game again, well, I'd caution you to try. But that's the beauty of this forum, is we don't have to agree. You have as much of a say on our nasty chat as I do and Reid does with a microphone. Well, we may have a little bit more.
We may have a little bit more. If you do want to communicate with us or with each other, you can post in the nasty chat on YouTube. If you are taking us in there, remember to subscribe to Edmonton Sports Talk and give us a thumbs up as well. We try to get to at least 100 likes every show.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com, Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com. And of course, you can text the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week. That is from 2 to 5 p.m. Yeah, a lot to get to. And we want to cover off the afternoon headlines for 100.3 The Bear. Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today. And with your afternoon headlines, it's Chet Palmer.
Hey, this is Chet Palmer with your sports update. The pod man is staying in oil country. That Russian boy, Vasily Podkolzin, gets a 3-year extension with our local hockey club. Good for you, comrade. Now go sock those Kachuk boys right in the kisser. Hey, Nathan Rourke, the only garbage around here is your trashy attitude. You better clean up that potty mouth and let the guys in suits do their bigwig thing. And last I checked, your lame Leos weren't exactly a cup contender. Old Gablin Dan sure showed those Ravens what it's like on a riverboat. Hey, Baltimore, is that a Mack truck or David Montgomery coming down the expressway? That Detroit team can chuck it and muck it. That funky music ain't the only thing rocking in Motown. I'm Chet Palmer.
Once again.
That typewriter lasted the whole time.
I think he got it repaired.
I think he changed the ribbon midstream.
He must have. Or he must have taken it to a typewriter repair specialist. Plenty of those around.
Yeah. Can you, if you had a typewriter, could you still get it repaired?
My mom has one. She said she would let me have it. We could have fun with that.
She has a typewriter?
Yeah, but I think it's electronic.
My dad, I think, sold an old typewriter on Kijiji a few years ago. Like somebody actually bought it. And it was one of those, it was heavy.
Right.
It wasn't much. Yeah, it wasn't much wider than a laptop, but man, it was heavy. I wouldn't want to move it around too much.
But there were electronic typewriters,
and then there were electronic typewriters
that were the keyboard was much more like a computer.
Yeah,
but it still stamped.
But it still was paper, and you still put it in there. But I think they even had the. Didn't it have even an autocorrect function that was one of the keys came up and did a little whiteout for you?
Yes,
and then
yes.
You didn't have to get a bottle of whiteout.
You could backspace with whiteout.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. That is how you can text us. All right. Do you want to show the picture? Might as well do the picture now.
Sure.
This will take a couple minutes here. This is fun.
So, like I said, my mother-in-law, I've been hunting this. Hunting is not the right word here. Not at all. But we've seen this in our yard for the past 6 months. And this is an albino magpie. So it's white where it's supposed to be white, but where it's normally black, it's this grayish. It's not black. So the only way we've been able to explain it is that this is an albino magpie. It's flying around our neighborhood. Other neighbors have seen it, but my mother-in-law finally captured it on camera today. And I was just like, yes, we got it. We finally got it. But it hangs around our house, and especially our horses, quite a bit. But every time we've come out there, it flies away. It's like it knows it's a special species. And it just, it's like catching Bigfoot. So God bless the mother-in-law. She got it in picture form today. So I immediately said to April, my wife, I'm like, sometimes the off-topic topic writes itself for our show.
All right. So how rare are those? Do you know?
I don't know, Reid. That's a good question.
But sorry, how long have you been seeing it around?
About 6 months.
Oh, that long, eh?
Yeah.
The magpie is a very ignoble creature, though, is it not?
Noble.
Ignoble.
Yeah.
I think I'm using that correctly.
Albino magpies are exceptionally rare. The more common... Okay, maybe it's rare white magpie spotted in Edmonton. This was in 2016.
All right. Well, maybe that's the same guy.
A genetic condition causing a partial loss of pigment affects an estimated 1 in 30,000 birds. So that's a 1 in 30,000 bird. But true albinism is seen in people, is much rarer in birds, occurring in fewer than 1 in a million, if not more.
Oh, really?
So it's not fully albino, but it's a 1 in 30,000 bird.
Oh, wow. And there's one living on your property.
Yes. I mean, buy a lottery ticket, I suppose. Go over to Play Alberta. You can do it right from there.
You buy tickets online.
Yeah.
All right. So Jay has Jay's albino magpie.
This was a news story on CBC. This rare Alberta. Is
that
magpie.
how that looks?
Yes.
Yeah,
it is exactly
okay.
how it looks.
Yeah, I've never seen a magpie.
In 2016.
And does it have friends? Does it sit around?
Oh, it hangs out with the other magpies.
Yeah.
They haven't kicked it out.
But they're always like bringing crap into your yard, aren't they?
They're kind of pests.
Yeah, they're pests.
Yes, they are. Look, this was a news story on CBC in 2016.
Somebody could do a news story.
You want to do a news story on my albino magpie? Mine.
Yeah. It's yours, yeah.
He's my albino magpie.
It's like you put them together. You Frankenstein them. I was on the news yesterday.
You were?
I was in a news story on CTV.
Yeah, Nariman Issa did a great story on you.
No, it was not on me. It was on the CFL Rule Change.
Oh,
so
right.
I was one
You
of the
appeared in the
one of
story.
the interview subjects.
I would say it was kind of like about you.
A lot of hate for magpies coming in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I share that hate. Except I'm not going to shoot this thing with a pellet gun. It's rare.
Yeah, you might be able to capture it and get a bounty on it.
Ooh, I should get it. I should take it to a taxidermist and then bring it into the studio.
Did you know the magpie is Edmonton's city bird?
No, it's
I do
not.
now.
Voted upon, yeah.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
Did you just look that up?
I did, actually.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
Fun
Lars
fact,
is right.
guys.
Like you don't like magpies around because they kill all the baby birds. Like they'll raid nests.
I just know, like, sometimes when I had a yard, you'd like be like, oh, where did this like half-eaten chocolate bar come from? Like that's a magpie picking it up somewhere, the garbage, and then dropping it in your yard.
Yeah, and like they are, like everybody's saying, they are smart. Yeah, they are. That's why I have a fear of birds. That's where my fear of birds originates from, is from magpies.
Did you get attacked?
We used to try shoot them from our bedroom window at where I grew up.
Oh.
We would feed them dog food
It's just
and just shoot them.
just whack them.
Yeah. Well, there were plenty of them, so what the heck? And we thought we shot one, but apparently it wasn't quite done.
Yeah.
And I went to pick it up, and it started flapping its wings and slapping me in the face. And I've been terrified of birds ever since.
Oh my goodness.
My mom will probably text me and attest to it.
Our off-topic topic for for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. So you can tell us about the strangest animal you've ever seen. Preferably in the wild, I guess. Like, not, I went to the zoo. I mean, sure. Strangest animal you've ever seen in the wild, or maybe an animal where it's like you couldn't really identify. Like, what was that? A coyote? He's too big to be a coyote. Is there a werewolf on my property? What's going on?
Right.
Strangest animal you've ever seen. Now, there's a lot of ways this could.
Oh, I want it to go to the extreme.
Like, I hope there's a Loch Ness Monster story here.
I want to have somebody that saw.
Or you have a Nessie living in your pond on the back 40.
Or somebody that actually saw a Sasquatch. I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeti.
Yeah, didn't we look that up one day, that Yeti is in
is
in Asia, and
it's an Asian,
Bigfoot are here, or Sasquatches are other part of the world.
Bigfoot, yeah. Like somebody must have seen a Bigfoot. Truth be told, we had a black bear come through our backyard about 3 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. The girls were outside, came running in and said, there's a big dog in our backyard.
Oh, no.
My wife, I wasn't home. She went out and she was in shock. Here's a black bear coming through our backyard. That was a shock.
When we moved to our place north of Evansburg, we are the what turned out to be our lawn, our yard was cleared. So I think the first summer we were there, or right when we were there wasn't grass. It was just dirt. And where we were living had been bush. And now, there was space cleared for our house and for the yard. And I was watching TV and I looked out the window, and I was like probably 6 or 7. And I looked out the window and I saw this animal walking, and it was a beaver. Like, it was just trucking through the yard.
Right.
And I called my dad might have been outside, but I was like, hey, Mom, there's like something in the yard. And we had 3 dogs. I think we had 3 dogs at the time. We had Moose and Laddie. And Laddie was a collie, so decent size. Moose was a German Shepherd / collie, so decent size. And Chico was a mutt, like the size of a big terrier, maybe. So still pretty small, like not even a medium, like almost a medium-sized dog. And he was like this weird blondie color. And the 2 big dogs like ran up to it and kind of stopped and got into that pouncing position and were barking at it. And Chico charges right at the beaver. And the beaver got up on its hind legs, and it was quite girthful. Like, they're not like, it wasn't like a little cat. Like,
I don't think you mess with beavers.
And Chico got up on his hind legs, and they swatted at each other with their front legs. Like, there was no biting or wrestling, but it was almost like they were, boxing or slap boxing. So like the littlest dog, but the beaver, just got up on its hind legs, and they started slapping each other. And then my dad must have been outside and got the dogs away, and the beaver, I think, trottled off, and then realized, this is no longer a path for me through the woods. There's now a house and humans and dogs here.
Right.
So that's wasn't a strange animal. I think that's the only time I saw a beaver in that circumstance. So anyway.
We had our fantasy draft a couple years ago, and it goes late into the night. So it's about 10 o'clock. Both the garage doors are open.
Okay.
And my dog runs by, and we're like, where did Bingo go? What's he doing?
Right.
Oh no, this was Bud when he was still alive. And then woof, back again. And then in comes this muskrat right into the garage.
No way.
Right in front of us. And my dog comes in, grabs him, walks away.
That was it.
That was it.
All right.
Chasing a
so
muskrat.
strangest animal you've ever seen, or maybe just a strange circumstance seeing an animal. I guess that's kind of what we're doing as well. 780-218-9999. Put it in the nasty chat on YouTube. That is our off-topic topic for William Huff. Yeah, we'll talk about the Elks today. Javon Leake is going to join us, and Vasily Podkolzin has a contract extension. You'll hear from him coming up. Here's the Coop.
24-year-old Vasily Podkolzin is here to stay in Edmonton, signing a 3-year deal with the Oilers worth just under $3 million annually. And NHL preseason continues. The Oilers and Jets matchup from Winnipeg. Puck drop for that one goes at 6 o'clock with 10 other games on around the league. Down south, Tampa Bay's Mike Evans is out less than 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. He sustained the injury Sunday against the Jets. While in New York, Jackson Dart gets the call for the Giants after an 0-3 start led by Russell Wilson. The Giants face the Chargers on Sunday. CFL news, both Davis Alexander and Zach Collaros returned to practice, taking first-team reps. Collaros missed the past 2 games with a neck injury suffered against the Riders earlier this month, while Alexander hasn't played since mid-July after he re-aggravated a hamstring injury against the Argos. In MLB action, Toronto and Boston clash for the first of 3 games. Boston sits 5 games back of the Jays for first in the AL East, with the Yankees 2 games behind Toronto Both the Yankees and Jays have 6 games left to play in the regular season. With first pitch tonight at 5:07, Kevin Gausman is the starter for Toronto. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. The conversation continues following the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
2 guys and a
The
goalie.
thought I had this morning is, what if he is making this we'll call it a political decision to have eyes on him, not falling on a sword, but carrying a shield, as it were. Because if everyone's asking questions about him, guess what they're not asking about? Guess who hasn't been swamped with stuff heading into the season? Stuart Skinner, Darnell Nurse, Evan Bouchard.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
We have what you're looking for. GD Liquidators is Edmonton's one-stop shop for new and used warehouse, office, and industrial items since 1987. You'll find what you want when you want it. Give us a call, visit us in store, or check out the monthly auctions at gdliquidators.com. 100% Canadian owned and operated. We have what you are looking for. GD Liquidators.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse, presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Fall football in your living room just became the Fan Zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. We are coming to you from the Canadian Brewhouse studio. It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn versus Mexican chili lime. 2 bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Give me that taste bud. Try them anytime. We're just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse. Good stuff.
You can't have my taste bud.
Give me it. They're just pulling it back and forth. Is your internet working?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That makes one of us.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's back.
A couple
now.
of responses from the off-topic topic for William Huff. This came in the nasty chat from Spency 5 Centsy, and as well as from Cole Harbor Joe in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Nothing scarier than a muskrat coming through the fishing hole when you're in the ice shack. So,
oh, geez,
coming up for air through a hole. That would be terrible. E-Town Beatdown says November 2023. I was working in Jasper. It was my 3rd day there. I showed up on site at 6:30 a.m. As I attempted to open the construction fence, my coworker says, "Is that a bear?" I said, "No way." Sure enough, a big black bear walks about 10 feet in front of me. Long story short, we had to get inside the site and scare it away. It was a little unnerving and completely unexpected.
Okay.
Charlie Dufault. Jay, strangest looking thing I ever seen this year was a cat-faced orb spider living on my deck. Damn, it was creepy. I think it decided to hibernate because I haven't seen it in a couple days. I Googled a cat-faced spider, and
don't show it to me. Yeah, I don't like.
I'm
not a spider guy.
Can I show you?
No.
Come on.
I don't want to see it.
Why?
Because it'll creep me out.
Can I show you?
It bugs me. No. They bug me.
How about a little peek?
No, I don't like the close-ups.
What about a little looky-loo?
No. It'll weird me out.
Seriously?
Yes.
All right. I
don't like close-ups of insects in general.
I won't do it.
I'm not looking. Does it look like a cat?
It actually looks kind of like a cat.
Weird.
Okay, hang on. Stop. We need to stop the show.
No, the show must keep going.
Well, the show is going to go on, but we need to address this.
What?
Spiders, no go?
No go for me.
Really?
No.
Spider in the house, are you able to take it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're
Yeah,
able
that's not a
to
problem.
get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Well, yeah, but I'm not looking around searching for spiders to crawl all over me.
No, but I generally don't like close-up photos of insects for whatever reason.
Well, they are disgusting. Close up.
Right.
Have you seen an ant close up?
Not recently.
It's terrifying. It is terrifying. We should do that. Forget name the animal. Name the close-up insect.
Oh, no.
Like just common insects
I would
from
do
extremely close range.
I'd have to take a break from my own show.
I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm learning things.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm not a fan of spiders in general, but I'm like, like if they're crawling around, that's fine. Like I realize there's spiders in my house and they're doing their thing, but like stay in your area. I'll stay in mine. Yeah.
Stay in the walls and the cracks.
Yeah.
I'll stay on the main areas.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes this spider look like a cat is it's got two little look like kitten ears.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, good. Congratulations for it being it. Yeah. Well, Charlie found it creepy, so I don't know why you wanted to show it to me.
It's just a picture.
Oh, did you read Matt's?
When I was a kid, my friend walked out of a cabin onto the deck, and there were two crows 5 feet away. They were getting busy, and it was both scary and hilarious.
That would be.
That is like when you go to Jasper and Banff and you see the size. Would that be a raven then? These massive birds.
Yeah, maybe ravens are bigger than crows. Yeah,
they're big. Like some of them are probably a couple feet tall.
Yeah, like who do you think you are?
Yeah. Stop. You know, I once was in Jasper and I saw a raven, but I couldn't see it, but I could hear it. And I said to myself, I said to myself,
I think I hear him coming now.
Is that what you were looking for?
Yes.
Sorry, I wasn't sure.
Well, I shouldn't put that
I thought you were
on
actually
you.
going to finish the story yourself. Then I saw you pointing at my laptop.
I know you're having computer
Like,
issues.
what's going on? Yeah, I got a weird computer today. Well, it's just like certain sites won't load, but that's okay. All right, let's get into the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. All right, so the Oilers news today, they do play tonight in Winnipeg. It's a preseason game. Jonathan Taves expected to be in the lineup for the Winnipeg Jets, making his preseason debut. So that's of note right there. But right here in Edmonton, the Oilers locking up Vasily Podkolzin. So he gets a 3-year contract extension. So he's in the final year of a contract that pays him $1 million per season. So really, this is now 4 more years of Podkolzin. So a 3-year deal, and he's going to be making just under $3 million per season, $2.95 million AAV. Podkolzin last year, his first with the Oilers, played all 82 games, had 8 goals, 16 assists for 24 points, 48 penalty minutes. He was +1 in the playoffs. Pretty good numbers. 22 games, 3 goals, 10 points. So just under half a point per game in the postseason. He talked today after the morning practice, and Podkolzin was asked, why has it worked for you in Edmonton?
maybe just the way the organization works, it works for me, and I do something for them. They do something for me. That's how it works, And at the end of the day, I think they gave me a good contract, and they gave me a good opportunity to be in this team for the next few years and to finally win a cup.
Now, one of the things we've heard from Leon Draisaitl several times over the last year and a bit was that he likes Podkolzin, likes having him on his line. Podkolzin was asked, why do you think top players want to play with you?
I just love the hockey. I just love my work, and I love what I do. And when I have opportunity to play with the best players in the world, that's awesome. I just really enjoy it and try to be useful for them. That's right.
And head coach Chris Knobloch asked why Leon and others like playing with Podkolzin.
An ultimate player. You always want players on the ice that make other players better, and I think Pods has those attributes. Like he's, pretty good defensively. He's hard on the forecheck. He makes it uncomfortable for the other team with his, he's a strong guy who's not afraid to finish his checks. Last year I think he had about 8 goals, and I think we'd like to see more out of him in that aspect. And I think it's just more of a shoot mentality because he does have a good shot. It's not only Leon praising him for his play. There's numerous guys in the lineup that like playing with him because of the type of player he is.
All right. Podkolzin, I think he's a tantalizing talent. Seeing him for a full year with the Oilers, he played all 82 games. I think that as the season wore on, I saw that he's a responsible player. He is on the PK, which will have to get better, but it's good that he can play on that unit. I do think he forechecks. I do think he's strong along the boards. If he did a little bit more offensively, as a rookie with the Canucks, he got 14 goals. And remember, he's only 24. He just turned 24 in June. Still relatively young. There still could be several good years ahead of him. If he could actually hit 14, 15, 16 goals, and you got him for a little under $3 million on a cap that's going to be over $100 million, I think this could be an incredible deal for Edmonton.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what you would see from him last year that wouldn't say that this should have happened, that this extension should have happened. I'm not, I don't mind the term. I don't mind the valuation. And there's no restrictions on this. There's no movement clauses. If this doesn't work out, he can be moved. So it's a really low risk for the Oilers, and particularly to what you said, Reid, with the cap that's expected to be increasing.
Right.
By the third year of this contract, when he's at just under $3 million, and the cap's at what, $114 million?
Yeah.
And if he's playing on your second line with Leon Draisaitl, that's extremely valuable. So, yeah, I don't mind this. And I think the upside for him is quite high.
Well, and that's the thing. Now, if he does, and I realize Draisaitl appreciates him, and I realize he does a lot of things well, but still, if you're getting that ice time, I think there has to be results. There has to be. If you play most of the year with Draisaitl, even if you're not on the power play, you should be able to get to double-digit goals. Or maybe pick up a few more points. So I would say that. And the one thing at times last year I questioned was his puck skills. Like when he got the puck in a good area, did he actually make the play with it?
But do you think that's going to be rectified given more playing time?
I hope so.
Given that was his first year.
Something that he wants to work on.
Yeah.
And Draisaitl did that interview with Sportsnet a couple days ago. And Draisaitl said, I'm the first one to the rink. And then usually Pickard and Podkolzin. Like Podkolzin's known for being a bit of a rink rat and putting the work in. So hopefully it starts to pay off. But if he blossoms offensively to the point where he scores in the teens or the mid to high teens, that's going to be a really, really good deal. And like James says, $3 million for a guy who got only 8 goals last year is a bit much. Need to see more offensively from here for sure. Yeah. Well, but you're right, James. But I think as the cap keeps going up, quite frankly, $2 to $3 million for a player who doesn't maybe score a lot might not be that unusual. But yeah, I think a good deal today, relatively safe deal, and again, an intriguing player because I do think he does a lot of things fundamental to strong hockey very well. We're doing that at 4 or now? We'll do that at 4.
3:40.
We got our guest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm breaking right away. Yeah, we're good. We got a break. Simoni Lawrence is coming up. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
The Oilers have inked Vasily Podkolzin to a 3-year deal worth nearly $10 million total. The 24-year-old had 8 goals and 16 assists last season. And tonight, the Oilers challenge Jonathan Toews and the Jets in Winnipeg. They meet at 6 o'clock with 10 other games on the NHL slate. Down south, Mike Evans will miss no more than 4 weeks with the Buccaneers for the Buccaneers with a hamstring injury he sustained Sunday against the Jets. And for the Giants, Russell Wilson will be benched this week in favor of rookie Jackson Dart as they take on the undefeated Chargers on Sunday. In the CFL, both Davis Alexander and Zach Collaros return to practice for their respective clubs, taking first team reps, with Alexander being out since mid-July for the Alouettes with a hamstring injury, having Winnipeg's Collaros sit out the past 2 games with a neck injury. From Toronto, the Jays and Red Sox kick off a 3-game series. Jays hold first in the AL East, 5 games up on the Red Sox, with the Yankees 2 games behind Toronto for first place. Kevin Gausman takes them out tonight, first pitch at 5:07. Simoni Lawrence is our guest once we return from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Another interesting tidbit from Coach Chris Knobloch. He wants to see Nuge more at center. Do you like that?
I don't mind it. I think that could still change too. I'll add Henrique was on the wing yesterday. We could see those guys shuffle around, but he mentioned Frederick as well, his ability to play center. And
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
Indigenous Celebration returns. Your Edmonton Elks face the Saskatchewan Roughriders Saturday, September 27th. Enjoy Indigenous dance and drum halftime performances, the pre-game makers market, and the unveiling of our brand new Indigenous gear. Indigenous Celebration is back. Presented by No Frills, 5 p.m. September 27th. Elks, Riders, wear the right shade of green. Tickets start at just $20. Score yours now at goelks.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. Oh my goodness, we're here. How are you doing, everybody? Oilers preseason game tonight in Winnipeg. Then they have home games tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday. A couple more road games next week. We're just over a couple weeks away from the start of the regular season. Elks with another huge one Saturday against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and a lot of people talking about the CFL with the changes announced that are going to happen over the next couple of years. We've been getting a lot of interesting perspective, and we're going to get some interesting perspective from a very interesting gentleman, former CFL great, now a broadcaster with the Hamilton Tiger Cats radio network. We welcome back to Edmonton Sports Talk, Simoni Lawrence. Simoni, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing, sir?
Oh man, Reid and Jay, what's up, boys? I'm doing great. You know, I can't complain. Life is pretty good. Retirement / more work when you retire somehow is always great, and I'm grateful for it, man. I'm just excited to be talking CFL football.
Well, you do a great job at it. I mean, you've been awesome the previous times that you've been on our stage. I'm just double checking your age. Yes, 36 years of age. So good for you, retiring at 36 and finding a second career. I used to work. I don't know if you remember Dave Campbell and Morley Scott. I used to work with them.
Come on, I just seen the boys. Yeah. I just seen them coming over in. They were just here in Hamilton. I had to come up and say what's up to the boys.
So I used to be at that station. I think you might have been on my old show at some point when you were a player. So anyway, it's good to talk to you again. So
good old full circle.
Yeah, let's just dive. And look, I guess there's stuff we can pick away at, but I think the general question is the good place to start here. You see these changes come out. What are the first few things that bounced around in Simoni Lawrence's head yesterday?
Sometimes, most of them, I was like, finally, you know what I'm saying? Just me being a competitive football player, I love some of the changes, you know what I mean? Just like certain things I never understood. Like you need your help too. Like Bo said it perfect. Like this is just like helping the Canadian Football League grow into its own entity. And I just like to say that like just because you get rid of something doesn't mean that's not part of the house still, you know? Like just because you add on to your mansion that you boys have over there in Edmonton doesn't mean the other part of your house is just forgotten about. No, you can still go there and do what you want to do, but that was just the history of the moment. You know, I think about so many times. I think even in the NFL back in the day, they had the goalpost in the front and then they moved it in the back because of like entertainment value, like when you're watching the game. And I feel like our field is huge, you know, and I love that. But I love that it's huge going this way, the width, right? Because that's where you're making most of the jukes and all the other stuff to make the game so creative. And the way that they set it up is being at 100 yards now you get to see the athletes be more athlete on athlete. Because to be completely honest, those returners get such an advantage playing against these guys running down that the long field, and they get outkicked the coverage, and then these skill positions are going against some of our best CIS players that are coming out of college on these special teams in the open field. And it's just a lot. It's still going to be a lot of field, but with the field shortening, now you're going to be able to get down on time and really see who can make plays and do stuff. You still get the 5 yards, but I just feel like they'll be able to create more of a cage around the returners. And then it's a give and take, right? Like moving the field goal. I think a lot of people agree, like moving the field goal to the back. What do you guys think? What you guys think about the field goal post going to the back?
I'm fine. I'm generally fine with it. Yeah. I'll give you a short answer because we did 3 hours yesterday and people don't want to hear it. But I'm generally fine with it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So it's like, yo, if you're going to move the field goal post back, you're telling me I still have to cover 20 yards of end zone and you guys got the middle of the field? Because to be completely honest, for like a defensive head like myself, I understand with that field goal post there's certain spots of the field that you just can't possibly touch. The only way you'll be able to touch those parts of the field if you put it up like this, like, you have to literally put it up like this, or it has to come out low and outside of the goalpost. There's literally like 15 yards of field that you can't get to with that field goal post right there, just from an athletic standpoint. And the reason that you guys are all from Edmonton, what's Ricky Ray's favorite ball? The corner ball, right? The only reason it's the corner ball is because that's the only ball that's open right in the end zone during the red zone. And we want to see people score more. So moving that back and then shortening the field is kind of like the same thing if you think about it, because now the offenses have way more room in the middle of the field to execute and play football and showcase these players that we say we love to go and watch. Because like there's so many times I've seen it bounce off Jeremiah Masoli throwing the Speedy Banks, Cody Fajardo throwing to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not fun. Like, I know the football is going to bounce off the goalpost. Like, let's make these athletes. We want to showcase the athletes. I love that. And yeah, man, the 35-second clock. Oh, I was like, finally, yo. I'm calling games in the booth now, right? And the commissioner hit it on the nose. I'm like, holy moly. Because, like, it was 1 minute and, like, 26 seconds left in the game. And I think it was the Winnipeg game or something. And you know how long it took for that game to finish in real time? In 1 minute. Guess how long it took?
Was it 11 minutes or something like that?
12 minutes.
But yeah. Right.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? And then we're like, okay, yeah, we want the old style, but that's just not how everybody is retaining information. If you're just studying that, for the older folks, you know what I mean? Go ask your children what they're watching. They're watching short clips. You got to be able to keep these kids in attention for long enough, and you can't let them get bored, or else they'll go do something else because everybody's scrolling on their phone and doing everything else. So how long it takes to put the ball down? Somebody's already on their phone doing something else because everybody's getting information way too fast. So the flow and the pace of the game is going to be way better. And I can respect and I love that as well too. And man, it's so many. I love it all. I love it. I was a happy camper, but I'm like the whole stigma of we're taken away from the Canadian Football League. Absolutely not. We are going forward with the Canadian Football League, because anything that we do with the Canadian Football League, it's the Canadian Football League, and we as a whole are doing it together. This isn't about trying to be like the NFL. Like, we're not the NFL, and the NFL is not us. I even argue the fact that the NFL started will soon copy us with our little waggle motion. You already see some teams trying to implement it, them going sideways because they can't go forward yet. So it's not that. It's just doing what makes sense. And one thing that I appreciated about the commissioner that I'm not used to, because usually I'm used to CFL news going out. They'll just say something. It'd be a bunch of bull crap. And then everybody just gets on the same page and everybody's like, yeah, you know, but this actually made sense. I was like, what? And I love when I can understand the why, yo. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's real people making decisions now. There's a why with everything. And anytime I'm getting information from anybody, if they can't get me a intellectual reason on why, then there's no reason. Like, there's a lot of people that are going to speak off of feeling and emotion. Like, I don't like this. And then you're like, why? Because it's taken away from the Canadian game. Why? Because this is the way it's always been. Would you like, it's just low levels type of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we grow together? Like, this is always going to be a Canadian Football League regardless.
Simoni, I want to ask you something else regarding this. The justification is, like, the why for some of it is more touchdowns, fewer field goals. So maybe, you know, in that gray area zone, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, you go for it. Some people thought the Elks should have gone for it 3rd and 2 against Hamilton and tried to put the game away. As a defensive player, and I know you were an excellent player, a highly confident player, and I'm sure you always believed that you could make the play. But were there ever times an offense was driving on you and got to 3rd and 2 and ran their punter or their field goal kicker out on the field, and you were like, thank God they're kicking, because they've been driving the ball on us. You know what I mean?
And that's part of the football game, to make these tough decisions. Why do we have coaches if we don't want them making tough decisions like this? You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, your thing was a no-brainer, because the way I'm looking at that, like, okay, we got the ball at the center point right now. If we punt this ball and get good field position, they got to drive the whole length, meaning we won't have another opportunity at taking the league if they score on this final drive. But if you go for it in the worst case scenario, because you always think worst case scenario is you don't get it, then you get the ball at the 50, but you're going to let them score either right away, you're going to stop them right away, and you're going to have the last possession, because football is a game of possessions. You want your offense to have the possession to be able to win the game. You can't win the game with your defense on the field. You know what I'm saying? So if you're giving the other team the opportunity to win the game, that's on you. But so I think that was like a no-brainer. And to your point about the 3rd and 3s on the 100-yard field, absolutely. Like, what do we like? you're going to have to be like, all right, how many times do we see our great players? We see Kenny Lawler freaking catch 2 30-yard passes. Now we have a decision to make because you're already in striking distance, and field goals will not win you football games when everybody is getting into the red zone and going to be completing it at a way higher percentage. So I'm looking at that like, man, that's a no-brainer too. It's like, all right, we got Rankin right now. We could run this ball. We got the 70-yard screen passes already in field. So 3rd and 3 is going to be something where it's, I got to get points. I can't afford to get field goals right now because it may or may not be way too easy for offenses to start and get into the red zone and score touchdowns. It's going to be about scoring touchdowns on this 100-yard field, but with the width still being the width where you still have moved the maneuver in that makes the Canadian Football League so elite and different from any other leagues, just being the wider side of the field. The wider side of the field is what does it for this league because there's so much open space tackling, and that's what I love about the CFL as well too, and that's still there.
Simoni, I wanted to get your take on some other big news that came out yesterday after the news of the announcement of these changes that are incoming in 26, 27. Nathan Rourke came out and said some things about these changes. One of the points that he said that he was shocked that players and coaches weren't consulted prior to the league going ahead with these changes. You know, as a former player, if you could put your helmet back on, what side of that do you come out on? And do you think Nathan Rourke was right in essentially blasting these changes that were proposed or instilled by the CFL?
Okay. If I have my football hat on, I'm happy that I'm not a kid that was afforded to be like entitled, you know what I'm saying? To feel like people have to do something. You know, I come from a home where it's like, yo, mom said this, so like these are the rules until you can make your own rules, you know? So in my opinion, it's like, hey, I can't tell no billionaire or millionaires if that unanimously agreed to something, how to run the game that they created, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just hoping the rules are favorable to player safety at this point, you know what I mean? Like, so as long as it keeps the players safe, that's all I really care about, because at the end of the day, I love playing this football game. And to Rourke's comments, I mean, all I heard was him saying he loves the Canadian Football League and how he loves how they have the waggle and how they have 1 yard off and and 3 downs, and that had nothing to do what was going on. So that was like I didn't understand it really. So yeah, I don't really have a comment on that. Like the aura of the CFL is still what it is. Like there's nothing athletically that they took away from the CFL that's not like, oh my gosh. Like I hear people complaining about the Rouge. Okay, let's talk about the Rouge. Let's take a vote of hands if we think that Lirum that kicked the ball out of the end zone and still was able to win the game and got the 1 point and missed the field goal on purpose and they won the game. Is that competitive? What are we teaching the kids?
Right.
Like, what are we teaching kids, that it's okay like to be below average and you can still win? Like, that's not real. That's not how that's not the aura of the football culture, you know? So you have to clean up certain things or else certain people are going to look like, wait, what? He just missed the field goal and they won the game? You know, like you just got to take the questions out, because these kids that are growing up now, way too smart. They get way too much information and they can form their own opinions on things. And that's what we're trying to do. We have to raise the market of these kids coming in and watching these football games.
Simoni, you're just outstanding to speak with. You got a lot of energy. We love your passion. We love how you analyze things. And we really appreciate you making time for us here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I know it's a couple hours ahead out there, so you're probably eating dinner soon. So thanks for doing this. Be interesting to follow the Tiger Cats. Obviously, they're trying to nail down first in the East, so we'll keep an eye on them for that as well. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your perspective.
No, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. You guys have a great day.
Right on. That is Simoni Lawrence with the Hamilton Tiger Cats audio network. Really interesting what he said. I mean, he basically said, finally, there is something being changed. I know there are a lot of you that don't like the changes. I'm willing to see how they go. I agree with everybody who says that there's the risk that the coaches won't take risks. That instead of designing plays to go for it on 3rd and 5 from the 30, they're going to try to recruit punters who can punt it 25 yards with backspin. I agree that's a fear.
Yep.
But I mean that's a player's perspective. That's a player's perspective on the uprights being on the field. That, and I talked to somebody today who said who'd been in the league for a long time, in sort of an administration level, who said the CFL at times has refused to admit that the calendar advanced past 1954. And now they're doing that. And quite frankly, guys, like to those of you unhappy, if stuff doesn't work, it can be changed back. Rule changes aren't forever. I mean, remember a few years ago, they changed the NBA 3-point line so it was a uniform distance and wasn't shorter in the corners.
Right.
They changed it back.
Yeah.
Now, I realize the field stuff, the effect on amateur football, that's all a massive story. And that's going to be challenging for amateur football. Like we talked to Tim Anger yesterday. So yes, there is a fallout about this. But having said that, the CFL is trying stuff. And a lot of people who, Nathan Rourke aside, a lot of other people who have played the game or who are playing the game currently have said, let's try it out. Let's try something different.
Yep.
Was it necessary to do things? Maybe not. Like, were people sitting around saying the field should go to 100 yards? No. But they wanted to move the uprights, so that led to a bunch of other things changing. VR Montenegro says, I've never once heard someone say I don't watch the CFL because of the Rouge. Well, I have, VR, quite frankly. Or I've certainly been sick to death of people complaining about it because it, quote-unquote, rewards failure, which, again, is oversimplifying it. So I'm glad they're going to the rule that a Rouge must be conceded. You can't just fire the ball out of bounds and get a point anymore. You can't. And again, you're right. I don't know if 5 years from now we're going to say there are way more viewers or way more season ticket holders or anything. I don't know. I really don't know. But they're doing stuff, and they have explained why they're doing it. I can't promise you it's going to work. But I mean, we got to talk about it.
And I hate to say it, but there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. I mean, if you don't like them, you cannot watch the product. You cannot invest in the product. That's up to you as a fan. That's what's in your control.
Right.
But right now, we're in a wait and see period. None of us know how this is going to work out. And I think the big thing is what you got to off the top here, Reid, is how risk averse our coach is going to be when it comes to that 25 to 35 yard line territory. When it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5, when a long kick field goal is out of the question. But now do you go for it? Well, the CFL is hoping and banking on coaches going for it more often. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, it's a turnover. Right? That adds excitement. 3rd down gambles are exciting. Look no further than last night's Monday Night Football contest. They are very exciting.
Right.
And we'll talk about that more later in the show. But that's really what you as a fan can do. If you don't like it when it does come out, well, it's up to you.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Are the people who are going to upset, they're going to stop watching in 2027? I guess that's my question. Like, could this cost the league? Could this backfire? Is this going to make people turn their back on the league? I don't know.
Well, and it's so new. These changes were announced yesterday.
Well, and here's the thing. Then all the football we're going to watch this weekend is going to look exactly the same. Next year, it's going to look exactly the same, except for the modified Rouge and the play clock, which I think will actually help with the pace and the timing, and they got to figure out what they do after the 3 minutes. All right, we got to do the 4 o'clock break. Javon Leake from the Elks is going to join us as well. You can get in touch, 780-218-9999. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox.
The Lock Shop.
Hey, Haas, before I let you go, Tommy Gazzola turned 40 today.
Come on. Happy birthday to the handsome one.
Yeah.
He's probably still getting carded at bars.
Probably still does. I said, like, he looks and acts like he's 25 years old. You know, living that good life. But yeah, Tommy turns 40.
What's Tommy's Instagram DMs like today?
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Whoa, blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Lobsterfest is back at the Canadian Brewhouse. Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. A pound and a half of fresh Atlantic lobster with all the fixins for just $49.99. Pair it with a stein of Alexander Keith. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielson Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielson Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The Oilers have signed 24-year-old Vasily Podkolzin to a 3-year deal worth nearly $3 million per season. He played in 82 games last year here in Edmonton, recording 8 goals and 16 assists. And from the Peg, Edmonton hits the ice at 6 o'clock to battle Jonathan Taves and the Jets, with 10 other games on the NHL slate. The Battle of Ontario goes down between the Leafs and Senators, while Calgary hosts Seattle and LA meets Vegas. Down south, the Buccaneers will be without Mike Evans for less than 4 weeks with a hamstring injury he sustained Sunday against the Jets. On the diamond, it's the Jays and Red Sox going at it. Boston sits 5 games back in the standings, with Toronto holding first in the AL East, leading the division by 2 games over the Yankees. And Kevin Gausman gets a call for Toronto, first pitch just after 5. In other Jays news, Bo Bichette and Anthony Santander took batting practice. Santander has been out with a shoulder issue since the end of May, with Bichette out for about 2 weeks with a sprained left knee. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your Sports Update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Good to have Simoni Lawrence on the show. Really interesting discussion in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Man, oh man, some people hate these rule changes.
Yeah.
Some people hate them, which is fine.
It's fine.
I just saw Danny Machocha out of Montreal saying that just giving the game a bit of a facelift, and that a lot of things that make the league unique and are unique to Canada, like the motion, like no fair catch, are still intact. So that's it. But this is this, and I always say this about a lot of different things. Well, we got to change. We got to get with the times. Okay, we'll change something. Well, no, not that. No, I guess in this case, you can argue, just leave it alone. Just market the league better. Just try to sell more tickets, all that kind of stuff. But they decided to do this in a league that hasn't changed a lot over the years, quite frankly. So they're changing it. I don't know how it's all going to work. But my biggest thing is, why couldn't have you done everything you did and just left the field at 110? So we still have a 55. So we still have something unique about the field size. They decided to shorten it. We'll see. I don't know if coaches are going to go for it more often. I really don't. I really don't. I hope they do. I hope it works the way they think it's going to work. I really don't know how it's going to work, but I'm willing to see it and try it. And again, rules are not set in stone and can never be changed. So things can always be altered. Remember, a few years ago, they said that there was a kickoff. They were like, well, kickoff returns are so exciting. You know what? We'll kick off after every field goal as well. They did that for a year. Then the team said, that's too much special teams. Like, we just want to take it on the 35. So they got rid of it after a year.
Yeah.
There are things that can be changed. All right. Very, very fun thing here.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right. Presented by Play Alberta, it's time to turn up the fun with the all-new Play Alberta app, your digital destination for casino, live dealers, lottery, instants, and, of course, sports betting.
All right. Going to the Blue Jays. I like to do things that are today as much as possible.
Really good.
So they have a set here that starts tonight in Toronto against the Boston Red Sox. Both these teams have been giving up runs lately. I took the over 8 runs. It's been boosted to plus 110. So give you something to watch tonight. That game starts at 5. So if you want to ride with Jay's Play of the Day, you have about 50 minutes, 49 technically, to do so. That's Jay's Play of the Day. Head over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials, and you'll see Jay's Play of the Day. Boston Red Sox, Toronto Blue Jays, over 8 runs, boosted to plus 110. And always remember to use your game sense.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day.
All right. Good stuff, buddy.
Thanks, Reid.
Blue Jays in the playoffs. My cousin James, who gave you the words of the day, he texted me yesterday. He said, how can it be that the Blue Jays have clinched a playoff spot when the Yankees are like 2 games behind? Now he's kind of getting back into being a baseball fan. And I said, they like when we were kids where you got to win your division to get in. I said, the Blue Jays have a playoff spot. They may not win the division, but they have a playoff spot. And he's like, oh, okay. So I sent him the Major League Baseball explanation of the postseason. All right, let's do buying or selling. That is presented by our buddy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Yeah, only 6 games left in the regular season for Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Well, it ends on the weekend, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So the Blue Jays finish off with 2 3-game sets at home. They finish off at home. By all accounts, getting the bye in the first round is going to be huge.
That would be nice.
Because it's a tricky spot to be in with such a short series.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. But, yeah, be interesting to watch. I'm excited to get into the playoffs. Major League Baseball playoffs, I think, is one of the best playoffs in sports.
I agree.
It just... You know what? It's silly to say, but I love when the pennant flag comes out. Like those red, white, and blue flags in center field or along the upper deck.
Yeah,
I like that. I don't know. And the overreactions of winning a wild card series.
You got to get out the champagne
with the
goggles. Yeah, anytime you win something,
fantastic. Only in baseball. Okay, I wanted to just go back to what was on the morning show this morning. For those of you that missed it, CFL Commissioner Stewart Johnston was on the Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric. And God bless Eric. He had asked him, although Stewart Johnston addressed it in the press conference yesterday, I'll just say it. I don't know if it was enough for hardcore CFL fans to say, well, is this just the start of going to 4 downs? Because the way that it was answered yesterday was, well, I never say never, and I don't want to rule anything out, essentially. And that, to me, would be like untouchable. Yeah. That's one thing you don't touch. Here's what Stewart Johnston had to say this morning on the Nielson Show.
There is not 1% of my brain power that is focused on anything to do with downs. We are a 3-down game. That's what we are. I think if folks are projecting based on this, again, we didn't approach this in any way that this was standardizing a field or making it look more like the game down south. Our field in 2027 will be 33% bigger than an NFL field. 33%. That is not the same field. And we are 65 wide with 12 players, 3 downs. We have our yard off the ball, and we've got motion. We are a Canadian game.
Yeah, a much stronger answer than he gave yesterday.
Does that satisfy you? Do you think that satisfies?
No. I mean, I see somebody in the nasty chat that the Big Uke is furious. This is as upset as I've ever seen the Big Uke.
Supersized Indiana Jones is on a heater.
Also known as the Big Uke. Big Uke is easier to say.
So I guess, I mean, you're going to have those people. I tweeted that out right after it went on the airwaves. I said, direct quote from Stewart Johnston, that not 1%. But you still have people that say he's lying.
Yeah, well, it's 0.5%.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think. Well, I'll just say it. It would be suicide for the league to do that, to go to 4 downs. It would. Right. That would kill this league.
So look, and I know there's some people who are really frustrated. And then when we, and like the guy that said, well, Jay, you're paid off. And we had people saying that yesterday, well, this is a big conspiracy for okay, whatever. I don't know if these are going to work. Some of them caught me by surprise, for sure. But I also now, like in the spirit of having a discussion about it, like what is so bad about it? What is so bad about the modification to the Rouge, which is something I've wanted for the last several years, that it should be conceded and not given for free when a ball goes out the back of the end zone? And I'd actually eliminate the Rouge entirely in the last 3 minutes of a game in an overtime, quite frankly. What is so bad about it? And again, I want everybody to remember this. And look, I'm not towing the line for the CFL. I don't give a crap what the CFL thinks of me. Okay? Like, use your head here, everybody. But I'm going to say what I said yesterday. Why the hell would the CFL go head-to-head with the NFL? Why would you do that? You wouldn't. Okay?
You ain't going to win.
They're not changing the game to try to slowly become the NFL and then lose the battle. Look, hey, everybody, we got the exact same product that the NFL has. Well, yeah, but I watch the NFL. I don't want the exact same thing. I want something that the CFL has. Okay? Like he said, we're doing things that enhance our game. They're not doing things to copy the NFL. Okay? It's that simple. There may be things that look like the NFL, but the NFL used to have the goalposts on the front of the end zone. They moved it back. Okay? They used to have other things change. And what did Simoni say? The NFL is trying to use motion the way the NFL does it within their rules. The CFL ran every snap out of the shotgun before the NFL did. Now the NFL, things go back and forth. If I think that's a nice shirt that's going to look good on me, Jay, and I buy my own version of the shirt, I'm buying it to make myself look better, not to become Jay Milne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Everybody needs to calm down about this. Well, I know you won't calm down, because when I say people calm down, that makes them more angry. All right, our guest is ready. We got to go to a break. He's already ready to go.
Okay.
Let's do a break, and Javon Leake is coming up.
The Oilers have extended 24-year-old Vasily Podkolzin to a 3-year deal worth nearly $3 million per season. And from the peg, Edmonton hits the ice at 6 o'clock to battle Jonathan Toews and his Jets. 10 other games around the NHL. Down south, it's Buccaneers being without Mike Evans for at least 4 weeks. He suffered a hamstring injury Sunday against the Jets. And on the Diamonds, the Jays battle the Red Sox. Boston sits 5 games back in the standings. Toronto holding first in the AL East, leading the division by 2 games over the Yankees. Tonight, Kevin Gausman gets the call for Toronto with the first pitch just after 5. Javon Leake is our guest on the other side of the break here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Stu Johnston, the Commissioner of the Canadian Football League.
There is not 1% of my brain power that is focused on anything to do with downs. We are a 3-down game. We are 65 wide with 12 players, 3 downs. We have our yard off the ball, and we've got motion. We are a Canadian game.
The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Whoa, blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. You can text the afternoon inbox 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu. That's available Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. until close. You can also post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. A lot of good discussion going on in there today. And we have a very special guest, running back, returner for your Edmonton Elks, Javon Leake, checking in this afternoon. Javon, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing?
Well, we're doing great. A lot of people talking about your league over the last couple of days. What's it like when you're a player and an announcement like this comes out? Like, are guys talking about it, or what's the last day or so been like in the Elks dressing room?
I mean, people are gonna have different emotions about it. Everybody's talking about it right now. The fans are talking about it, so it's different. It was exciting to hear about it. I didn't even know about it until yesterday. I didn't know an announcement was happening. So just to hear the new rules, man, and just how the game is changing a little bit. I know everybody's gonna feel different ways about it, but I feel like the game is still gonna be exciting, man. So we just got to go with it.
Was there anything that struck you specifically or made you raise an eyebrow and ask a few questions, whether it was the goalposts or the length of the field or anything like that?
I just feel like just the goalposts not being in the middle no more, and just with the Rouge no more being back of the end zone. So just stuff like that makes the CFL the CFL. That was the only thing I'll probably have an eyebrow raising for. Everything else is kind of, normal, just with me always playing American football, so the 100-yard field and just stuff like that. But as far as the goalposts moving, I think, more touchdowns will probably happen. I think now people are going to go for it more on third down. So, I just feel like it's going to be a lot more points. as far as with the rule change.
Now, the one thing for me that I perhaps don't like or might miss is the missed field goal return, unless a kick is short. I mean, one of the most exciting plays for the Elks this season was when you ran the Paredes miss in the Labor Day rematch back, to the Calgary 35 or whatever, and then Edmonton kicked a field goal that kind of put the game away. As a returner, have you thought there's maybe an opportunity I might not get as much?
Yeah, definitely, man. There's definitely going to be less of those now. So, that's a big part of the CFL, too. Like, there was just a missed field goal return from Winnipeg. So, just seeing that in the game a lot and just seeing it taken away as a returner, it's going to hurt to see. But it's now when you get your opportunity, you got to make the most of it now that it's not going to be happening as much, man. But like I said, with the rule changes, we just going to have to adjust to it.
Okay. You got anything for him on the rules, Jay?
Well, on the rules, but they did keep one thing intact, and that from having players that have predominantly played in the U.S. come up and play in the CFL is the width of the field, the 65-yard width of the field. That has not changed. Is that something you feel is of the things that make the CFL unique to Canada and uniquely Canadian, and for this league? Is that one of the things that stands out to you, or would it be the motion or the yard apart? Like, what stood out for you the first time you stepped on a field in the CFL and you're like, wow, this is different?
I would say the halo for punt returns, just being able to have 5 yards of cushion before you can even get tackled. The motions with the waggles, and like you said, the field being so wide, man, as a returner, I love that because, I cut across the field a lot. So just having that wide field and more space and being able to outrun defenders just because the field is so wide, man, as a returner, we had that advantage. So I loved when I first got to the CFL, man, I loved all the things that came with it. It was a different game for me, but I could tell it would be a fun game, and, I could have a really good career here.
Well, and just between you and I, Javon, and nobody else is listening, okay? So if you go ahead and you can cut back across the field as much as you want, okay? Because every time that happens, it seems good things seem to happen just by you using your speed. So feel free to cut back as much as you want.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Javon Leake from the Elks joining us on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Okay, I know you're looking ahead, but I got to get a comment on the last two games. I mean, you guys played hard. Had an opportunity, and on the last play, the other team kicks a field goal to win. Can you just kind of take us through sort of surviving those, trying to put them behind you, or still push forward after a couple of really tough losses?
I mean, what can you say for those, man? Those ones hurt, especially back-to-back, losing the same way like that in the last second. So just seeing that, me being a returner, I'm out there when the last second field goal goes off. So, just seeing that back-to-back week, man, it hurt, especially with the position that we're in, chasing playoffs and, just trying to get a spot in there. So we really needed those wins. But, like you said, we can't look back. We just got to focus on the next week. But those definitely hurt, man. I wish we can get those back, but we just got to keep pushing, keep moving forward, and, get ready for Saturday.
I know you've been here a couple of years. We had Chris Morris, the president of the team, on the show yesterday to talk about the rule changes, but I also asked him about, just this season. And he said, I know fans are frustrated, but he said, we're not overhauling the team. Like, the leadership is back. We got to build continuity here. Do you sense that, on the player level, that there's some people who are working hard to steady the ship, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely, man. We got a lot of guys, like a lot of our leaders are hurt, man. So just seeing that, we got to have a lot of new guys kind of just step up while we're on the field, because most of our leaders, they can't be on the field with us right now, man. Those are the guys that we looked up to and that, like you said, led the team. So we just got to have some new guys, new faces kind of step up a little bit and just, plug into those roles. Now that the guys that do lead us, they're not on the field with us. So we just got to keep going. Everybody just kind of got to lean on each other. It's a team thing. So, we just got to pick up the slack from where our leaders, left off getting hurt and stuff like that. So we just got to fill those voids a little bit.
All right. Riders are having a good year. I know they had a tough outing against Montreal a couple weeks ago. They're a good team. You guys played them earlier this season. Another close game. Didn't quite go your way. What do you expect here from the Riders? What do you guys have to do to pull off a big win?
Man, I feel like we can play with anybody in the CFL, man. We've proven that. So, Riders being a great team, man. It was a good game when we played them the first time. So we know what we're up against, all three phases. Those guys are good, man. So we gotta come ready to play. We gotta execute. We gotta finish drives. We gotta score in the red zone. I can go on and on the things that we got to do, man. We just got to play football and just, be ready for whatever Saz got for us. And like I said, we got to play our best football right now, man. The games are tight, and we can't keep letting too many slip.
Well, yeah, they're all kind of must wins at this point, aren't they? So yeah, hopefully one against Saskatchewan. Sounds like it's going to be a really good crowd, which will be nice. So it should be a good one on Saturday. Javon, thanks for making time for us. Great to have you on the program. Hopefully there's a nice long return or two for you against Saskatchewan. Everybody would love to see that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
That is Javon Leake checking in here on the Reid Wilkins Show on Edmonton Sports Talk. So good to get his perspective. I will miss the missed field goal return.
Sure.
But when these changes come in, well, that won't be until 2027. But good to talk to Javon, exciting player. What do you think of what he said? Anything really stand out for you?
Yeah, I think he is a player that is directly affected by these changes. That's where a lot of his bread is buttered, in the return game off of field goals or, punts that are, might be eliminated from the game, right? But as he said, you still have to make the most of what you got. And it is a clear narrative that they're trying to take special teams or limit special teams with these changes. Like that.
Yep.
That, and with the guise of it turning into touchdowns.
Right.
Now, and that's what, I think that's what is the overarching theme here is nobody knows. Analytics are analytics until it's put into the field of play.
Right.
And you don't know what a coach is going to do until their back's up against the wall.
Right.
And they're 0-3, and it's their fourth game of the year, and they have to make a big decision when they're on the 35-yard line.
Right.
You don't know. Nobody does. So it's kind of a holding pattern for a lot of these things, to be honest. And Javon Leake, and I'm sure the other, like, what is Javon Leake going to do? What's he going to say? Is he going to write a letter and pen something to Stewart Johnston and say, hey, I disagree with these. I think we should relook at that. I'm sorry. The ship has sailed. It has. Even Nathan Rourke saying what he said yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't like the changes. Okay. Now what?
What are you going to do about it? Yeah.
Are you gonna choose another league? You're going to say, see you later, CFL? It's just you're stuck here. We all are. Nobody knows, and the rules are going forward. They're the changes. I can't say rule because technically a lot of these aren't rules. They're changing.
Good point. Yeah, it's actually the configuration of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the rouge is a rule. The clock is a game procedure. I guess that's a rule. Yeah. I look, this is a really interesting topic. I guess on one hand, it makes me quite happy that this many people are sharing opinions about it.
Absolutely,
because people are talking about the league. If you really didn't care, you would just say nothing.
That's true.
Or you would just be like, oh, okay, whatever. We'll see.
No, it's nice to see. I mean,
Right.
Love it or hate it, people talking about the CFL, that box is checked.
Right.
Because it's been the bulk of our coverage for the last 24 hours and even longer.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it is something that is obviously quite polarizing.
Yeah.
People, and it's a change. It is. If you're changing something, I mean, the 55-yard line's in the chat, for goodness sake.
Yeah, amazing. I will miss you, 55-yard line. It's going to be sad.
And that's a change. The field goes to the back of the end zone, that's a change, a visual change. The field only being 100 yards, that's a change. Are these going to change what makes the CFL great? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't view this as a league destroying move.
So, Big Uke, that's a tough look to say just roll over and go away if you don't like it. I'm not saying roll over and go away, but I don't know what other options players would have at this point. Seriously, what else? Would they strike? Would they not show up to camp?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. If you really, said I can't handle these new changes, do I think that they should have spoken with at least the CFLPA, the Players Association, who have representatives from each team? Probably. And I was quite shocked to hear that they didn't. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there are things about this that I find quite curious, and I haven't got a chance to ask Stewart Johnston any questions about it. We had Chris Morris on the show yesterday, and he kind of explained the outline for it. But this happened pretty quickly after the new commissioner came in, right? And they're announcing it mid-season. I mean, they could have waited to Grey Cup week, but then I think it would have detracted from the Grey Cup. They could have done it in December, but then, the timing is the timing could always be questioned whenever you do it, right? So they did it now. Probably good they did it before the NHL season started, quite frankly.
Well, he on the show this morning, he addressed why. He said it was because it was getting out. And he was fearful of it if it just started coming out.
You might as well announce it
in the wrong form or presentation.
Right.
So they said, let's just do this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really interesting thing. The TV deal's up, I believe, at the end of the year, isn't it? Matt Hyman is just asking the next. I think this is either the last year or the second last deal, year of the TV deal. Here's what I'm going to say to everybody. I think if you consider what's happening overall, is this really as major as it feels like when you first read it? Because when I first saw them, and I had a pretty good idea about them on Sunday, I was like, holy crap, what is happening? And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, a lot of things are going to stay the same and look the same. Okay? So you can speculate on what might happen and how it could reflect the gameplay and the flow of the game. But most of the stuff about the CFL that we've been watching for several years is going to be the same. Now, it will be different. If a punt or a field goal goes through the end zone, there won't be a point. A lot of people hate that. Quite frankly, a lot of people who love the CFL hate that. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Okay, the bench is obviously the timing is now the end zones and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but I mean, again, they're calling it a refresher or a facelift or just trying to modernize things. I don't know if it's going to work, but I don't mind trying it because I don't think that they're severe enough that it's stripping away the soul of the Canadian Football League. I really don't. Like, if that's your argument back to me that this is crushing the CFL, I have trouble believing that. I really do. And again, tell me why you feel that. Like, if you just don't like it because for the sake of change, okay, that's fine. But I don't think it's gonna. I don't think you'll turn on the TV in 2 years and be like, what am I watching? I really don't think that's going to be the case. I really don't think that's going to be the case.
Well, and the thing, like Riding the Pine says, kind of seems like a new guy trying to change something. I'd say don't fix it if it ain't broke. That to me, and I brought this up yesterday, that was the biggest thing, was the CFL broken enough to say we need to make these changes?
Right.
Because I like I said, the changes are happening. That seems like that's a moot point at this time. I don't know. Matt Iwanek said you can rise above and change things as a fan base. Okay, sure. Try. I'm not saying to not do that. But what I'm saying is why did it need to change? What was happening that suggested, this league is just, in 5 years, this league's over if we don't make these changes? I'm not sure that's the case. Well, I know that's not the case.
No.
You could have probably looked at maybe, I don't know, selling your product, marketing your product, marketing the game. Maybe that would have helped. And it doesn't seem like the CFL really does that. You only hear about the CFL on TSN. That's it. You don't hear about it on Global. You don't hear about it on the CTV. You certainly don't hear about it on Sportsnet. So I agree with you. I don't know why the changes need to happen. Is this a change just for the sake of change? That's a question I have as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I just don't think it's stripping away. Like Big Uke says, it's a facelift with a sledgehammer. Uke, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm sorry. We are on polar opposites of our perception of this. So I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you.
Jason and LeDuc in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. I'm an MLB fan. Guess what they have done the last few years? Bigger bases, pitch clock, minimum batters faced requirements. The National League adopted the designated hitter. Oh, yeah. And they changed the game again today, and they did with
robot umps.
Automated ball strike challenge system.
Robot umps, yeah, or Shotwell, yeah, with robot umps.
It's great. It's called evolution.
So
don't be a dinosaur,
leagues
people.
do stuff.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, the whole designated hitter, like, even we were always talking about with the playoff format. I mean, 12-year-old Reid Wilkins is horrified. When I was a kid, when the Blue Jays won the World Series, there were 4 teams that made the playoffs. Out of what, 28, 26 or 28? Yeah, it was 26. There was 14 and 12, right? Now it's 12 out of what, 30? Baseball's still going. And look, baseball could have said, why do we need to, why one league can have the DH, one can't? Or when they brought the DH in, they could have said, no, a pitcher's got to hit. It's always been that way.
I just want to clarify, because this nasty chat's spicy today. I did not call you a dinosaur. Jason and LeDuc said, don't be a frickin' dinosaur, people. Embrace change. This is good. I was just reading that. Don't eat me like a dinosaur.
Well, people are very upset, and
they are.
We're it's fine. We're here for people to get angry at.
Soundboard, yeah.
Because I've always said, it's better you get angry at me than you get angry at people in your life.
Sure.
Go yell at a wife or a boyfriend or a coworker or your boss because you've got all this frustration about something that happened in sports. We're a safe spot to get mad at. I always thought that, especially doing the post-game show. You want to get mad at me? Get mad at Jay. We're a safe place to do that. It's better you direct it at us than other people in your life. So you can do that.
I'm a man.
You can do that.
I'm 40.
He quit today, didn't he? Or got fired?
He got fired today.
Yeah. But that's a good point. Leagues always change stuff and tweak rules. So why can't the CFL do it? You know, like, why can't they try something? And again, they can change it back if...
Well, and baseball's been around a lot longer, and there are a lot more of the, entrenched purists of the beloved game of baseball.
Right.
And I'm not saying they're bigger, better fans, but there's a larger volume of them.
Oh, yeah.
Than there is of the CFL fans. And somehow they've become and been able to adapt to these changes. Because ultimately it made the game better.
Yeah.
It sped the game up. It was more accurate. It evened things up with the designated hitter. And now, yeah, this ABS, the automated ball strike challenge system. 2 successful challenges can, and if it's successful, they keep them. And only the pitcher, catcher, or batter can initiate the challenge. No assistance from other players on the field. No assistance from the bullpen. That'll be interesting to watch. And if it goes into extra inning, you get an extra challenge per inning if it's not used. And if it's used and it's successful in an extra inning, you keep it. So this is totally changing the rules of baseball from having what used to be the law and order of a baseball was held by the umpire, the home plate umpire.
Right.
Now you can challenge that. And you could already, but this is just in addition to it because I think they find that it's working. They wouldn't do this and they wouldn't add this as another layer of a challenge if it wasn't working.
All right, 780-218-9999 is how you can text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta, your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Dave Jamieson is coming up. He will have a very interesting perspective on this chat as well. We'll continue with buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Back in a couple minutes.
24-year-old Vasily Podkolzin is here to stay in Edmonton, signing a 3-year deal with the Oilers worth just under $3 million per season. In the NFL, Tampa Bay's Mike Evans is out less than 4 weeks with a hamstring injury he sustained Sunday against the Jets. CFL News, both Davis Alexander and Zach Collaros returned to practice, taking first-team reps for their clubs. Collaros for the Bombers missed the past 2 games with the neck injury suffered against the Riders earlier this month, and Alexander hasn't played since mid-July after he re-aggravated a hamstring injury when his Alouettes took on the Argos. MLB action, Toronto and Boston clash for the first of 3 games in their set. First pitch goes at 5:07 with Kevin Gausman, the starter for the Jays. And staying in the 6th, Anthony Santander has been reinstated from the 60-day injured list, being active for tonight's game. Bo Bichette also returned to practice, missing the past 2 weeks with a sprained knee. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can shop online at paramountflooring.ca. The Reid Wilkins Show rolls on after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
So Nathan Rourke, Canadian guy, came back from the NFL last year. He's like, this is garbage. This is the game I love. I admire his passion.
Same.
But I would think that he would be a guy that would be like, no, this is good. I'll benefit from it. I'll take advantage. And, everything I'm going to do now is going to be even better because this makes it easier for me.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Wholesat, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Must you click? Click. Thumb. Must you click?
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Yeah, there is the Thumb Click remix. Give us the thumbs up. Hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. We try to get to 100 every show. If you've already given us a thumbs up, click the share button and send the link to the show to somebody else and say, hey, check these guys out. You might like them. Or you might want to argue with them, which a lot of people are doing today. Dave Jameson coming up at 5 or a couple minutes after. Dr. Doom in the Nasty Chest says, my opinion will possibly change once I hear Dave's opinion. He's like a god of CFL opinions. Well, Dave Jameson is very good. Dr. Doom, I thought you had a little more conviction than that you're just going to change based on one person. It's going to be hard to take anything you say seriously again if you waffle that much, but that's okay. 780-218-9999 is how you get us the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We, of course, are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Win big this football season at the Canadian Brewhouse. Score your shot at a trip to the Super Bowl, weekly prizes, and more, plus $1 off Budweiser and Bud Light tankards. Details at the CanadianBrewhouse.com. You got any text you want to catch up on, or are we good for now?
Let's see. I'm sure it's been Okay, this comes in from Redbeard. How you doing, Redbeard? Hey, boys, I would consider myself a casual fan, and I like the field reconfiguration. The goalpost in the end zone was always strange to me. Once they moved the post, I think the field had to shrink. From a Canadian football uniqueness, this is about as vanilla as they could have gone. It could have been worse with 4 downs, division realignment, the ratio, field width, etc. These changes are minor. That comes in from Redbeard.
Well, that's the thing. Once they decide to move the goalposts, if that's where this started, then that, I think, triggered other things happening. Then they said, we got to shrink the end zones a bit. Then they said, well, what if we shrink the whole field a little bit? Yada, yada, yada.
Well, and look, these changes have not come without skepticism from you or I.
Right.
The changing of the goalposts to the back, I think that was just a natural progression. I think, and what they've said is the analytics will show that this will open an area of the end zone that has not been accessed.
Right.
Which, by their analytics, they say, not me, this will lead to more touchdowns. You've said that they could have kept a 110-yard field.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Right? But that comes back full circle. I just asked Matt in the break, why any of these? That's the only thing that I don't know if we will get an answer on. Well, we certainly won't until these come into play in 2027. And I said yesterday, is this going to put more butts in seats?
I don't know.
Is this going to increase revenue? Is this going to make it more marketable for the upcoming TV deal? Right? The CFL would not do anything unless they were quite confident that it would bring in more revenue. That I can assure you of. This is a revenue-driven business. Stewart Johnston has made that pretty clear. He refers to the CFL as a business, which he should. It's a business of which he is running.
Right.
On behalf of the presidents and owners of the clubs, of the leagues that he represents, or the people he represents. But nobody will know that. Nobody. Do I think that the CFL viewership is going to go up 20% in 2027? No, I don't. So I'm stuck wondering.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'll be something to ask Dave. Why?
Well, he'll have a unique perspective, right? Because he's been part of marketing. He's dealt with players. He's been around the league a long time. I mean, again, I did talk to somebody today who said, you know what? Try something. It's not 1954. And this person is a more seasoned individual, right? So
Maximilian says, you actually said seats and butts. Yes, I got it.
Oh, did you?
Butts I did. I did that yesterday, too.
You could put your seat in a butt.
You could. Rams fan. He says, we are a yard off the ball. We have motion. We are a Canadian game, says Stewart Johnston, about the change to 4 downs starting in 2028. It's a business. CFL needs to survive. I love it too much. Don't really care if it stays 3 downs or goes 4 downs, just as long as I have my CFL.
Again, I just think it would be... I mean, I'm not overly thrilled about going to 100 yards. Like I was like, it's 110. Why couldn't we keep it at 110? I'm not thrilled about that. Again, the benches on the different sides, obviously that's good. I think the play clock thing is a cosmetic pace of the game change that will help. They got to sort out the last 3 minutes. So then we're talking about the goalposts and the size of the end zones and the length of the field. I feel like it would have been nice to still have the 55. Like, I get it. They're condensing it. Maybe you make drives a little longer, stuff like that. But if this was a move to 4 downs, I'd be furious. If they got in the fair catch, I'd be quite unhappy. If they shrunk the field width-wise, I would be livid.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, I don't get this.
Oh, the 4 down is a no-go for me.
Right.
A 100% stop.
Right.
Seriously. No go. Can't do it. That would be foolish. This is not a 4 down game. It's not played like a 4 down game.
Right.
And Zulu makes a great point. And this is, I think, now Stewart Johnston on the morning show this morning he said he answered this question, which was about season-long fantasy football. He said, all I can answer is with a big smile.
Right.
So it's obviously coming.
Okay, and here's here's something I want to say when people say why do this? You've been saying this. I've been saying that. People are being asked it. I mean, Stewart Johnston is taking a different approach than other CFL commissioners. I think Randy Ambrosie's thing was player safety and getting a 10th team. And then the dream of the 10th team kind of died down. Maybe COVID didn't help. I actually think Randy in some ways went too far with the player safety. Do we need every nick to a helmet being reviewed or being a 15-yard penalty? Do we need every big hit being a 15-yard penalty? I'm not sure we do. Do we need 3 bye weeks so the season has to start in early June? I don't think we do. I think we could have had 2 bye weeks. That was Randy's thing. Stewart Johnston is coming from a different background with a different mandate that really he has probably given himself. But that's how he got hired, by having that mandate. So he has come in and basically said, and again, I'm not supporting him, everybody, settle down. But he has come in and said, to heck with it. It's time to rattle things up. Okay, this has been moving the goalposts is not a new discussion. I have heard this before. Let's get him off the goal line. Okay? That's not new.
Dwayne Ford said that yesterday.
That's not new. So, maybe some other things were a little more surprising. That's not new. Okay? So he said, enough. We're enough talking about it. Let's do it and see what happens. And now with season-long fantasy, this ain't a new thing, folks. Okay? I was playing season-long NFL on Yahoo Sports in 1999. Okay, so to his credit, he's finally saying, screw it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to hold town halls for 7 years. I'm going to do it. Now, is it going to work? We don't know. Could he wind up being the worst commissioner in league history? He could. But by the other token, he's saying, okay, what is this league's reputation? Outdated, won't change, won't get with the times, has been surpassed by other leagues over the years. So he's doing it. So he's doing it. So, and now, change for the sake of change may not be the good thing. Could you argue this is change for the sake of change? You could.
Yeah.
You definitely could.
Well, and the reality is, you could look back on this in 10 years and say, oh, man. In 10 years, are you going to be saying, but man, I sure missed the missed field goal return? Is that even going to be in your memory anymore? Are you going to look back on this and say, you know what? Those changes weren't awful. They actually made the game better. We don't know that, but there's a possibility of that, right? It's not all doom and gloom. This could positively change this game. It's the change, though, right? Change is never easy. I'm not saying that you have to conform to it or that you have to deal with it right now.
Well, I know people have to deal with it.
Well, not right.
Well, they're
right
not going to
now.
see the games for 2 years, but yeah.
It is what it is.
And this is the boldest thing a CFL commissioner has done. Who was the commissioner during the American expansion? I guess that was a pretty big deal. Ultimately didn't work out, but they tried it. Here's the thing. If we'd never gone to the States, people would still be saying you got to expand to the States. Well, now we kind of know at least the markets they went to weren't a great idea. So anyway, Dave Jamieson is coming up. He's going to be entertaining. He's going to be informed. He's going to be opinionated. He'll touch on several. I want to ask him about the Nathan Rourke comments, also from his perspective as someone who did media relations. Like if his player did something like that, would he be like, "Oh my, like what are you doing?" Or would he be like, "Okay, good for you," and just his thoughts on this process of trying different things with the Canadian Football League. Back after the 5 o'clock break.
2 guys and a goalie.
The thought I had this morning is, what if he is making this we'll call it a political decision to have eyes on him, not falling on a sword, but carrying a shield, as it were. Because if everyone's asking questions about him, guess what they're not asking about? Guess who hasn't been swamped with stuff heading into the season? Stuart Skinner, Darnell Nurse, Ben Bouchard.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielson Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielson Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
Fall football in your living room just became the Fan Zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
The Oilers have inked Vasily Podkolzin into a 3-year deal worth nearly $10 million total. The 24-year-old had 8 goals and 16 assists last season. And tonight, the Oilers challenge Jonathan Toews and the Jets in Winnipeg. They meet at 6 o'clock with 10 other games on the NHL slate. While in the NFL, Mike Evans will miss no more than 4 weeks for the Buccaneers with a hamstring injury he sustained Sunday against the Jets. From Toronto, the Jays and Red Sox kick off a 3-game series. Jays first in the AL East, up 5 games on the Red Sox, with the Yankees 2 games behind Toronto for first place. And for the Jays, Anthony Santander is active for the game, being reinstated from the 60-day injured list. They get underway in just about 5 minutes. Kevin Gausman to take the mound. And right now, 3 games are live. Tigers and Guardians runless. Top of the second as they battle for top spot in the AL Central. Cleveland 1 game back of Detroit in the standings entering the contest. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 3 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Okay, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Oilers in Winnipeg for a preseason game tonight. That starts in about an hour. Vasily Podkolzin gets a 3-year contract extension with the Oilers, so he's going into the final year of a 1-year deal. He'll make $1 million. The AAV on the extension, $2.95 million. He was asked why it's been working for him as an Oiler.
Maybe just the way the organization works, it works for me, and I do something for them. They do something for me. That's how it works, you know. And at the end of the day, I think they gave me a good contract and they gave me a good opportunity to be in this team for the next few years and to finally win a cup.
All right, a little bit there from Vasily Podkolzin. Of course, you can get in touch, posting in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. A lot of you in there today talking CFL and a little bit of hockey as well. You can text the afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant $18.99 prime rib special, 7 days a week, except show nights from 11:30 in the morning to 11 at night, and that's available for dine-in and takeout. Okay, Dave Jamieson is a friend of Edmonton Sports Talk, longtime broadcaster, and of course, former VP of Communications. I don't know, all-around good guy, media relations, would just handle anything that you needed all the time. Hey, Dave. You're muted. You're muted, my friend. Okay, we'll get him. I gave him such a glowing intro as well. Guy that would handle anything you needed all the time.
Well, it would be interesting to know, what he would have done yesterday, had he still been on that at his role.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to know. I want to know what he thought of the Rourke stuff, but not what he thought of it. What he thought of it as a media relations person. Are you like, come on, Nathan, you're just making things more difficult for everybody.
Oh, sure he would have.
Or whatever. And look, he cares about the league. He's been around the league for a long time. So, I just want to see what he thinks of these changes themselves as well. So the Oilers in Winnipeg, back home tomorrow, home game Friday, home game Sunday, and then the 2 exhibition games next week are on the road. And then 2 weeks from tomorrow, we got a regular season game already, which can't come quickly enough in terms of covering hockey. Baseball tonight. Blue Jays head towards the playoffs, so we'll keep. What's your play of the day again?
Blue Jays. 8. Red Sox over 8 runs.
Over 8 runs.
Yep.
So, what's the line?
Plus 110. It was boosted to plus 110.
But what's you're saying? Oh, so you're saying 9 or more,
or 8.5,
or I guess
the elusive half run.
Right. The elusive half run.
Yeah.
They should give out half points. We had some fun today for the first time. Well, were we the first ones to do that today? To play football on the lawn?
Yeah, I think so. It was great. Throwing around the old pigskin out there. It was fun. I think we got JMO now.
Do we have JMO?
Yeah.
Can we hear JMO? He's there.
He's there. Hello.
All-round guy. All-round guy who will get you whatever you need whenever you want. That's how I introduced you. Yeah.
Sure. Yes. Unplug it, plug it back in quickly, right? And then it works.
Yeah, there it is. Hey, thanks for doing this. We love having you on the show. We love when you're on EST. We know you fill in on other shows sometimes as well. Okay, I'm going to dispense the formalities now. We're going to dive right in.
Let's get you. Sure.
You've been a media relations guy. You've told a player, hey, they want to talk to you. Hey, they're going to ask you about this.
Right.
If you were the media relations person for the BC Lions yesterday and you're hovering around the scrum and you hear Nathan Rourke say garbage and go on for 2 minutes about the destruction of the Canadian Football League, are you pulling your hair out? Are you thinking perhaps Nathan and I need to have a discussion? What do you think?
A couple of things. And I can draw on some examples, but I know you didn't ask me to come on today to tell stories about Kay Stevenson again.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah.
And I happen to know Matt Baker, who's very, very good at his job with the BC Lions. And I don't know sort of the lead up to that scrum. It looked like post-practice, which I'm guessing is when they made him available. So I don't know if they were able to get to Nathan Rourke to do a bit of a briefing. He is, I would argue, the face of the CFL. Certainly maybe he, Bo Levi, and a couple of others. But because of his passport and who he is and what he's done and all of that, when Nathan Rourke speaks, certainly about the state of the league, he's not just complaining about a missed call, okay, or something that happened on the field of play. This was a substantive announcement from the commissioner yesterday. And when the headlines say, Lions quarterback says rule changes are garbage, that resonates, and not always in a positive way. Like, what is that telling the customer, Lions customers, potential customers, about what the CFL did? And, it's a bit rich, and I respect him as a player. I've never met him as a person, where he would, go to great lengths to cast aspersions on what the commissioner had done. Remember, the commissioner doesn't report to Nathan Rourke, and he answers to the owners who unanimously backed him in these changes. Owners that are large, for the most part, losing money, and lots of it in some cases. So I get it. The players would like to, have been at the table or however they arrived, however Stewart Johnston arrived at all of these things yesterday. So again, not knowing the circumstances, I would have insisted that perhaps even the club president sits down with the player, with me present, and walk him through the changes. And if he goes, look, I think that this stuff is garbage, okay, let's find a different way to voice your displeasure. So maybe you couch it a little bit saying, I'd like to see some of these in play. I'm going to reserve judgment. And there are ways to work around that gets him so his feeling as if he hasn't been sort of, sanitized, that he's still able to have an opinion. Clearly he did. But that's, and again, on the other side, I also love, if I were a reporter, which I once was, I'd be in that scrum going, oh, let's keep this going. Because this guy's about to, you've got the fish, you got the hook in the mouth, and here we go, but I would have, knowing that it's the first thing they're going to ask about, make sure he's properly prepped. And then after that, it's human discourse and interaction. And at some point, you have to throw it to the wind and see what, if anything, comes back. This too shall pass. But it wasn't a great look, I didn't think, on his part.
Okay. The changes themselves, really interesting, very, very polarizing with many members of our audience. What did you... there's two elements to this, Dave, so you can go however you want. There's the element of how do you think these changes are going to work? Like, do you think they're good? And then there's the element of why even do any of this to begin with? Like, who was clamoring for some of this stuff?
Okay, let me start with what I like about the changes. Well, I'll do this, preface it all with, I really don't have an issue with anything there. Like, one of the, I would if it were 4 downs. Okay, I'm going to say that right out of the gate. Like, if it was the full on, okay, I think they've retained enough Canadian uniqueness with some of the quirks of this crazy 3-down circuit. I like the 35-second. I like that it's, going to be a very regimented. It's not sort of, hey, guys, whenever you feel like you can get into position, we'll start running here. That kind of, sort of uniquely Canadian. Yeah, well, whenever you guys are ready, just start. So now it feels like, okay, we're, this is running properly here. Benches on opposite sides, of course, we've never known anything but here in Edmonton. But in some places, it's weird. The business part of me goes, oh, what about those cities like Vancouver where they move the benches to one side where they used to be split? They lose some of that low seating, higher prices, the premium seating. So I thought, okay, well, there's going to be some configuration. None of that applies in Edmonton. They got lots of space, so that isn't affected. End zones at the back end. I know Stewart Johnston was touting hey, they'll be out of the field to play. You're not going to have, somebody either throwing a ball there or some guy looking up and getting hit by a goalpost. I don't know how often that happens. I'm guessing they track that data on some level, but, I guess where I am aligned with those who are resistant to the change is the idea of, oh, please don't take away the end of CFL games. All of the chaos that happens and those late moments that still matter. Because you guys know, the NFL, it's over. Like, we're just going to take knees until Joe Buck says, all right, Troy, well, there it is. And we're done. So you want, I've never thought that the CFL had a football problem. Their problems are extensive in other areas, but I never thought that the product was the thing that was keeping people away. So, but I'm also am supportive of change. And Stewart Johnston has the mandate from the owners. So, the traditionalists, look, I'm a season seat holder, I pay for those seats. I'm a Eskimo alumni director. I'm invested in the league and obviously the history of it. But, I like the Hudson's Bay too. How's that working? So I think, though, I heard you guys talking earlier, we're going to see some changes next year and then the rest in 2027. You and I, the three of us, will go to a game because Reid's buying beer that night for his friends Dave and Jay. And we're going to go and we'll be sitting there and go, God, I can't remember. Were the goalposts up by the goal line? Like these things will just immediately become, or very quickly become, part of, we're not going to worry about it. We're still going to go, why can't the Elks, convert on second and short or whatever? We'll get, so those things, I'm not going to say it's window dressing. It's important stuff. It's times like this, I don't know if I've ever told you guys that, one of the great things about training camp, and there aren't many great things about training camp, was being around the group of newcomers. We're gathered in probably 2 days out before the first preseason game, when they would get the deep dive into what the Rouge means and how you have to deal with it in the play. And to see the looks on guys' faces going, what? So I'm going to kick it? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. So they're going to boot it, and then if I come, and then I could kick it back? Like, come on, man. Really? So yeah, have at it. So but the Rouge remains kind of in theory, it's still there on some level, but I do understand the idea of winning a Grey Cup on a missed, because of the Rouge, or a missed, wouldn't be a tremendous look. I get that part of it, but I guess you could also say, hey, look, this league has, in all its zaniness, all its quirks, has survived, not necessarily thrived. And Reid, to answer your question, it was Larry Smith who was the commissioner.
Thank you. I couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah. A former player, and a very good one for the Alouettes. I mean, a guy who I guess would be steeped in tradition, but went, hey, we're dying up here. This is untenable if we stay this way and we don't, it didn't work ultimately, but it sure was a shock to the system.
I appreciate how you put your thoughts there. You have a very unique perspective, having lived and worked in a couple of CFL cities. I think, and in both times you saw some highs and lows for both franchises. I can't remember how the Lions were exactly when you were in Vancouver, but they've kind of been up and down most of the time. But
they were not at a high point in their storied history. And but I did see Murray Pezem, the late owner, shirtless in his luxury suite. But that's fine.
Okay. Were you supposed to be in there?
No, I was covering the Lions. Of course, I was doing Dan Russell's show. I would do Dan Russell's show across the street at the Expo Studios because Dan didn't like covering the Lions. So I always drew Friday night, I'll do the show. Because he couldn't be bothered,
That's funny. I spoke to somebody earlier today. You might know this gentleman as well, but he's been around the league too. And he was kind of like, look, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But he also said the CFL has sometimes been reluctant to admit to itself that it's not 1954.
Oh, so true. And that wasn't Halsey, was it? That you were talking
Halsey.
to?
No.
Okay. Jay, and with much respect to you and all football people, but there were guys over the years that, they seemed incredulous that there were fans in the stands, and they much would have preferred to have played games at 1:00 on a Tuesday so that nobody could bother them, that this was some sort of a church, the church of football. And you'd say, but what about the business of this? We have to do more, to make it accessible, and all the things that go into marketing and all the stuff that they had no time for. I remember Doug Barry, I told him in a Grey Cup, I was assigned to work with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and taking him to his first news conference as a head coach. The team was in the Grey Cup, I think it was 2007. And he turns to me after the first practice and he looks at me and goes, what the hell are all these people doing here? And I go, you mean the media? They're covering a Grey Cup, coach. This is what happens when you're really good and you get to the end. People want to talk to you and your players. So there are some that are so tunneled, so closed-minded and blinders up to the fact, of coaching and doing all the things they do, that they forget the larger picture. And I think that there's a great deal of truth in that. Again, my Hudson's Bay reference is not wrong here.
Right.
It's there is change. There can be sort of cataclysmic change, which you would like to avoid unless it's good. But I think this is a way of Stewart Johnston acknowledging and listen, he may not have played the game, but he along with the company he worked for, Bell Media and TSN, have been instrumental in the survival of the league. But he's seen this monster up close, and he probably has thought about this stuff for quite some time.
Well, and that's what I'm wondering too. Like he's. I know it seems like he's done it quickly in his tenure as the commissioner, but he's probably been thinking about it. Or maybe people have been whispering to him, God, the goalpost. Like, I didn't totally like that video yesterday where they made it seem like the goalposts get run into 3 times every quarter. And even showing that one-handed interception in BC where it's like, oh, look how you couldn't see it. Actually, you could see it just fine. But
yeah, you could.
It was another, like, it's his job to sell it. Like Bettman sells things all the time that we scoff at. But yeah, it's this weird. It is this weird line between change for the sake of change and, oh, wait a minute, maybe it is, like, I think Danny Machocha called it a facelift. But like, part of me is worried though. Like, what if it's 3rd and 3 from the 30 and all the CFL teams have found some Swedish punter who can backspin it perfectly to the 3-yard line and put it out about, like, they may not go for it. The games may end 12-11. It could be worse. I guess they'd have to change back in this situation. I don't like you. Yeah.
It's funny that you would reference the Swedish kicker because I was at the news conference that Randy Ambrosi unveiled 2.0, and I remember turning. It might have been to Awana because we were working on the 18 Grey Cup and the 19 Grey Cup, and I said, "Oh, please, not more." Are we going to trot out the example of the Mexican kicker? And lo and behold, that's one of the first things he referenced. So, the idea of finding the next Dan Kepley in Belgium was proved to be not so fruitful. But that said, football people will always football. And they'll find a way to tinker with the system and have workarounds. And I heard Mark Killam today saying he's on the rules committee, and they'll go to their off-season meetings and, get into the laboratory and figure all this stuff out. And if they're good coaches, they'll coach their players up. American players come up here and learn a new brand of football and do very well right out of the gate. I've talked to lots of guys, and I know you two have as well. I mean, it's, there are idiosyncrasies, but at the end of the day, it's throwing, it's catching, it's tackling, and, and again, leave it to the Swedish guy to kick the football.
Right.
Do you think, though, that, I just have a hard time picturing a coach that's put in the, we're going to have to come up with a name for this zone, this 25-yard line to the 35-yard line. That is whether it's called the go zone. I don't know. But sure. I have a hard time believing that somebody will risk losing yardage on a botched punt or the field goal that's missed, which, from the 35, that would be a 57-yard field goal.
Sure.
From a missed kick to lose yardage because the ball would come out to the 40. I think that you're going to find, at least I'm sure this is what the CFL is thinking, is that there's going to be some sort of a formula that says if you're here and it's within this down and distance, that you're going to be rewarded more for going for it than you are, I guess, negatively impacted for just trying to kick it out and trying to directionally punt it, and the odd one goes to the end zone. Do you think that will come out? Because Matt Iwanek, good, very dear friend of yours, is very skeptical of this.
As he is of most things, yes.
What's your take on that, Dave? Do you think coaches will be able to change and be a little bit more risky?
I do, and I point to the gentleman leading the Edmonton Elks now. A young coach, team's background, what I can see creative, still learning how to be a head coach. And I look around the league at guys who are, from my perspective, I've met all of them, obviously, are, if not young in age, I think adaptable, and they will figure it out. Like it's funny, even though I worked for so many years in football, Don Matthews reminded me very early in our relationship. He said, just because you work here doesn't mean you actually know anything about football, to which he was probably correct. But I'm inclined to think that smart people and good athletes or great athletes will figure it out. That you can put change in front of them, and because of their skill and training and experience, that they'll go, okay, you know what I am really going to be interested, Jay and Reid, is how, and this will take a little bit to play out, does this change in some ways the kind of players that would be good CFL players? Like Ed Hervey is out there with his team of looking for his personnel group. And, do the needs of a CFL team change because of these rules? And there will be more rule changes. I don't know. I don't know that. I just wonder,
Yeah, sorry. And what quarterback do you keep out there for that 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5?
Great question.
Are the Chris Strevelers of the world going to be, moved aside because you just can't have that anymore? You need a quarterback that can put, I said to Matt earlier, would a Cody Fajardo stay on the field in a 3rd and 3 situation? Why bring in a short yardage unit? There's so many different dynamics that, and I agree. I think innovative quarterbacks and younger quarterbacks, like you suggested, might catch on to this and figure out a way, or at least have some sort of a roadmap that it's within these parameters. This is what we do. If it's outside of these, this is what we do.
That's where my mind goes on this, and thinking about, how it will impact roster composition, in the types of players, specifically in this case, quarterbacks. But again, I don't know if there'll be other implications. I do like that they've kept the width of the field.
Yeah.
Because that is also a thing that, for newcomers, certainly quarterbacks, they go, what? I got to throw the ball how far across?
Right.
Wait a minute. And there, as we've seen many times, that wide throw, and it's like, that's not going to clear that DB who's, oncoming, and, it's a pick 6 TD. So I like that they've maintained that, the shorter field. They say how many additional touchdowns a year? Well, nobody's ever said, hey, let's have fewer touchdowns.
Dave, wonderful segment as always.
Thank you,
your
guys.
perspective is respected and appreciated. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
We will bother you again at some point to be on the show, because we absolutely love
never
having
a
you.
bother. And I was only able to slip in a couple of old dusty references. Doug Barry, you haven't said that name in a long time, and you're probably grateful.
Dave, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
Take care, my friends. See you
That
guys.
is Dave Jamieson, former ESC's Vice President of Communications, still works with the alumni, and of course a former broadcaster himself, and just a very measured and knowledgeable take on some of these changes. So we're happy to have him on and tell some stories along the way. I didn't know he saw an owner of the BC Lions shirtless in the past, which was quite intriguing. I'm really enjoying this discussion. I'm enjoying that people care about it. I'm enjoying that people are arguing with me, quite frankly, because I have that bit of a weird personality quirk. Look, let me throw this at you. Did this go far enough? You want more touchdowns than field goals? Make field goals worth 2 points. Like, what if the CFL would have done all of this and said, oh, and by the way, field goals are now worth 2?
This is a lot of information to take in and absorb right now.
Or if they would have said, the closer you get to the other team's end zone, the less the field goal is worth, because it's not as difficult to kick.
Well, yeah.
You won't even look at me. You're so angry. I'm saying
I'm speechless. I don't know what
why
to think.
Why does a field goal have to work? Like, nothing is sacred when you think about it. Like, you can change the length of the field. You can change the length of the end zone. Why can't you change the scoring?
That's just that's a little too far, Reid. Now I think you're grasping.
No, I don't think I am at all. I think that here's the thing. Now I agree with people that the CFL blew it yesterday. They should have made field goals worth 2.
No. Do you not remember earlier on in our working relationship? Well, which is all.
Yeah, I drew those goalposts.
You drew the goalposts
that they had extra sections, and the middle section was worth the most.
So that's 3, and those are 2.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it would be a 4-pronged goalpost with 3 sections.
No.
The middle section was worth 3, and the outside sections were worth 2.
I think we're onto something. I think they need to double down and come back with another set of rules.
That the uprights are moved back, but now they have extra sections.
Yes.
Which you can have because they're not in the way.
And it just, one section is lit up every time with red.
Yeah.
LED screen red, and that's the no-go zone. You can't kick it in that one.
Oh, yeah, maybe
random.
they can have, they can randomize it, and just before the kicker kicks, it's like, you got to aim here, you got to aim here.
Yeah, you got to make a quick decision.
Why not?
I think you're on to something.
But if you want fewer field goals, make them worth less points. Like, okay, so then there's really no decision. Then you really want them gambling and going for touchdowns.
Back to reality.
What? I am in reality.
Do you remember what Bo Levi Mitchell did on the first meeting they had with Edmonton, where he did the
quick kick?
Quick kick. Do you think that this new setup is going to inspire more of that?
Maybe.
If you can have a quarterback that can directionally kick it with onside players?
I think they're going to have to outlaw out-of-bounds punts entirely, any part of the field, even if it bounces out.
They can't.
They just make it a penalty. You got to punt down the middle, baby. So that way there's no coffin corner.
Well, that's a huge part of this. Huge.
Yeah, so now... Well, if we can't punt it out of bounds from the 35, we might as well just go for it.
Ooh. Okay, so 4-pronged goalposts.
This ain't done. No, okay.
4-pronged goalposts and a light in the background that is
right. Okay,
and then no kicking out of bounds.
I think the lit up goalposts. I'm pretty sure you're joking.
I am.
The 2-point field goal. I'm only slightly joking. But I do think that they're going to have to do something about punting out of bounds to make teams even go for it even more. So, again, if you get that Swedish kicker that can backspin it out of bounds at the 3 every time, you don't want him doing that. You want teams going for it.
Rip City Step, just make punting it out of bounds inside the 10 or 20 the same outcome as a touchback. Problem solved.
Yeah, exactly. Comes out to the 35 or the 40. Yeah. So then you're not going to do it. Just saying. Hey, I'm not as crazy as I look.
Mad at the Garrison. They've already changed the scoring by modifying the Rouge.
Oh, yeah, but when there is a Rouge, it's still worth 1. I'm saying make a field goal worth 2. We're in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. UFC 320 is live Saturday, October 4th at the Canadian Brewhouse. With TVs at every turn, ice-cold drinks, and nonstop action, you won't miss a moment. The Canadian Brewhouse, our house is your house. Dave Jamieson, awesome to have on the show. Voices of the Game, presented by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. Here comes the Coop.
The Oilers have extended 24-year-old Vasily Podkolzin into a 3-year deal worth nearly $3 million per season. He played in 82 games last year, recording 8 goals and 16 assists. And the Oilers are in action tonight at 6 o'clock. They drop the puck against the Jets. And 10 other games are on the NHL slate. 6 games live right now, all in the first. Cole Caulfield and Florian Jacki have the Habs up 2-0 over the Flyers. About halfway through the first, with Toronto's Austin Matthews finding the back of the net to open the scoring against the Sens with 5 minutes to go in the opening frame. And right now, the Jays trail the Red Sox 1-0, bottom of the second. No outs for Toronto. Alejandro Kirk at bat around the MLB. 2 games are in the fourth. Guardians trailing the Tigers 1-0 as the Pirates lead the Reds 4-2. Plus, the Yankees and White Sox are scoreless in the first. The Reid Wilkins Show continues after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Oil Stream.
Another interesting tidbit from Coach Chris Knobloch. He wants to see Nuge more at center. Do you like that?
I don't mind it. I think that could still change too. I'll add Henrique was on the wing yesterday. We could see those guys shuffle around, but he mentioned Frederick as well, his ability to play center. And
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. 2 bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Well, happy Tuesday afternoon. Oilers game tonight starts in about half an hour in Winnipeg. Preseason action. Oilers home tomorrow, and then on Friday, and then on Sunday, couple of road games next week to get you through the preseason. We, of course, are Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instants, and sports betting all in one place. Players can get a $50 casino bonus by depositing $50 and using the code EST Casino. You can get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $50 and using the code EST Sports. Don't forget to use your game sense. All right. Blue Jays are down 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. You know what else they should do? They need to go to 7 innings in baseball. Enough with the 9. Okay? 7's enough. You've determined who's better after 7. So here's what I want today. I want field goals to be worth 2. Baseball can go down to 7 innings. Okay? Hockey, 70-game schedule is enough. That's fine. CFL needs to ban the divisions. 1 9-team league with the top 6 making the playoffs. So there's another change I'm going to make. What else am I going to do?
It's quite courageous of you.
Yeah. The half marathon will be 13. Will be 21K. We'll get rid of the 0.1. You don't need the extra 100 meters. Just make it 21. What else can we do? Basketball will have a 4-point line. If you score from inside the 3-point line in your own end, that's a 4-point shot. So we're going to do that as well. And we're going to put, I don't know, The Tour de France will now be motorbikes. There's another change I'm going to make. It'll be a motorbike race.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Inside the park, home runs are worth 10.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Incentivize.
Who's stopping me?
I want points.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
I'm thinking outside the box.
Nobody can box you, Reid.
Nobody can box. Yeah, it looks like Calvin Pickard in net tonight for the Oilers against the Jets. Thanks, Matt Hyman. He's probably at the game.
Have lines come out?
Oh, are there lines?
No.
I've not seen anything. I should be getting something soon. Let me see here.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, there's Bob's. You want to do them?
So Nuge at center with Howard and Kapanen. Philp in between Jones and Hudson. Marjala in between Henrique.
Marjala. Kid, yeah.
And Savoy.
Capone with Rem Pitlick and Griffith. And then the defense pairings are, interesting. Leppinen and Emerson. Stetcher with Brown. Deneen with Prokop. Pickard and net. Tompkins will be the backup, the opposite of the game in Edmonton the other night. So I guess Nuge, the biggest name in there. Howard's going to play. Well, Nuge, Howard, and Kapanen. Well, that should be a good line. Big game for Philp to play. And then, Max Jones is playing.
Where can you watch this?
Oilers Plus.
Only on Oilers Plus?
Yes. So you got to pay for Oilers Plus. As far as I know, I think it's on the Jets region television, but that's blacked out in this part of the world, is it not?
What about, didn't the Flames have it on their live stream off their website?
I don't know if the Jets are doing that. I don't think they are. What's that? Iwanek? Yeah, it's blacked out because it's on TSN 3. You can text us 780-218-9999. Afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino. Happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks available Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Watched most of the Monday Nighter last night. I guess I missed the bit when I was still here working, and then I wound up driving to my parents and watched most of it with them. I got there shortly before the Lions had their 98-yard drive, and then they had, a 96 or a 95 later in the game. As we go into the courageous moment for Alberta Blue Cross, running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed just for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you. You know, I got to say, I enjoy watching the Detroit Lions play. And,
yes.
and I enjoy the courage that Dan Campbell has to coach them that way. We are going to go. We are going to set the tone. We're going to go on fourth down. We're not going to worry about turning over the ball. And I know, they had the playoff game a couple years ago where they didn't get a couple fourth downs. I mean, last year they didn't win in the playoffs. Nothing against your Commanders, but the Lions were injury-riddled by the time they got to the playoffs as well. They didn't lose because of gambles or anything like that last year.
No.
And the Commanders played well. But, we talk, you and I talk a lot about confidence and belief. I mean, that is something in sports and attitude. I just love that he has that attitude for the Lions. We go. Like, you can approach it two different ways. Are you coaching not to lose? Are you coaching to avoid failure? Or are you coaching to win and put your team in a position to win? And maybe not everything always works for him. Maybe there are times you can say, you know what, he actually should have punted in that situation. But he has decided how that team is going to play. And I think his players believe in it. And you look at that play they made on fourth down yesterday, that pass to St. Brown. That was a team that wasn't nervous, that wasn't worried about turning over the ball. That was a team that said, we're getting it. And I think he has coached, and he's done it over the last couple of years, he has coached belief into that team.
And it's very empowering for that team. And it's very empowering mentally for them to say, well, it doesn't matter. We're going to go for it. We've got this. For them not to be in limbo saying, hey, coach, are we going? Are we not? They know. That gives you a major advantage, no matter how you cut it. So this kind of mentality could cross over to the CFL, where it's like, oh, O'Shea, he's going for it every time they're in between the 40 and 20. He's going for it.
Yeah.
Right? If you have that belief instilled with your team, because you know how many times the Detroit Lions have went for it on fourth down this season? Take a guess.
In
3 games.
3 games, 11.
8. You know what? How many of them they've got?
8.
7.
Right.
Pretty damn good. And last night's Amon-Ra St. Brown sealed the game essentially for them. I know Baltimore came back and scored a late touchdown, but next play, David Montgomery runs it in.
Yeah.
That's a belief.
Yeah.
And I like it. I like that aggressive play calling. I like that style because your players aren't expecting it. If you watch the recent series, a quarterback, Jared Goff was featured on there.
Mm-hmm.
There was one point where Jared Goff was almost pissed off at Dan Campbell because he was wavering and waffling at one point of a play of a big game.
Right.
He's like, we said we're doing this,
we're
coach.
going, yeah.
So let's do it. We got you.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they went and got it done. So yeah, it's doable. I don't know if I can 100% get behind this idea of coaches don't take risks. They're very well. Some
not
might.
Every coach. Some do.
might.
Many do actually.
Yeah.
Many really good ones do, or they do it when the time is right. And plus they make sure their players are prepared for it.
Yes.
I mean,
that's the key.
I think that's why sometimes teams fail in those situations because they haven't practiced it, or a coach hasn't told them, okay, I'm going to do this, and then they get caught up in the game, or an assistant coach says, hey, you know what? I think we actually should go for this. Like that's the team attitude, and maybe some people don't like it. I like it. I like that he coaches that way. It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. I want to just mention this. This came in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. And this is probably lost in all of the great debate we've had today. Whether it be in the nasty chat, in the inbox, or between you and I, through our guests, there's been a lot of different ideas and different, I like this, I don't like this. But here, what might be getting lost here, and it should probably come back up to the surface. Seahawk Paul says, this is awesome. I've never heard so much CFL talk. Commissioner, it's working. Right? When have we spent 2 straight shows in a row? Well, we've only been doing this just over a year.
Right.
But I can tell you, never.
Well, we've talked about Elks a lot. But
I'm talking a show that's
overarching issue, identity of the league, direction of the league. We haven't. And again, that's part of his job is to get. I mean, there's a lot of talk about how do you market the league? How do you get the people talking about the league? Well, like it or not, making significant changes is one way to do it, because people are debating whether or not that they're going to like the changes, or whether they like them now, and what the impact they're going to have. It's 5:46. One final update, and then we got our words of the day.
The Oilers and Jets hit the ice in about 20 minutes. Calvin Picker gets a start for Edmonton with Ike Howard, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Kasperi Kapanen filling out the top line. Earlier, the Oilers extended 24-year-old Vasily Podkolzin to a 3-year deal worth nearly $3 million per season. And right now, in the NHL, 6 games are live. Dougie Hamilton and Emil Heineman have each a goal, with the Islanders and Devils tied at 1 entering the second. Bobby McMahon potting Toronto's second of the game. They're up 2-0, leading the Sens at the end of the first, while the Flyers trail the Habs 2-0 after 20 minutes. Top of the third, the Jays are down 1-0 to the Red Sox in their series opener, with 7 other games live in the majors. Mets up 1-0 on the Cubs in the first. Cleveland down a run against the Tigers in the fifth, while the Pirates have doubled up the Reds 4-2 in the fourth inning. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Simoni Lawrence. Simoni, how you doing?
No, y'all intro music is perfect. No wonder y'all got one of the best shows in the world. You had me feeling like I had a nice tuxedo on, I'm excited. Elks versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Woo! And this is the kind of game the Tiger Cats need.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Okay, thanks a lot for tuning in this afternoon. Excellent program. A lot of good discussion. We had Dave Jamieson on the show. We had Javon Leake from the Elks. We had former CFL linebacker and current Tiger Cats broadcaster Simoni Lawrence on the show. Could we keep squeeze in a couple of limericks before we go?
Sure.
We haven't got to any today. Do you have them ready? I can't find them. Box pounder. The 55-yard line is dead. The Rouge now wounded is bled. But CFL fans will still fill the stands. A positive outlook ahead. Not bad.
Bronco Nick, I get jeered for my elkdom ruthlessly. Or no, hang on. Bronco Nick married into a rider's mutiny. I get jeered for my elkdom ruthlessly. Elks better win. Hope I don't sin. Some days I feel like writing a eulogy.
Oh, my.
Matt, this comes in from... He says he's looking for redemption from yesterday's AI. That was
the AI generated.
Yeah. It did, but it didn't rhyme.
Didn't sound very good. Yeah.
CFL Commissioner's tenure has been brief. Taking away the Rouge. What a thief! Is he credible? I'm skeptical. Big Uke's new name causes me grief.
I think Big Uke's mad.
Is he upset with you?
He might be mad at me.
Yeah. Well,
most people are mad at me. Most people who listen to the show are like hate listen to me.
That happens.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I kind of like it, actually.
Don't fret, pet.
That's how I get my energy.
That's what my mom would say. Don't fret, pet.
This is what I say to the people who hate me.
Bring it on, baby.
Feel your anger.
For those listening, we just received an email from the coup, Matthew Awanek, who has let us know that the Estes photos are up at edmontonsports.com. Click on Estes, and you can see all the photos there. So if you were at the event, there looks like there's some great pictures. I see incoming a new profile pic from my Twitter, Reid.
Well, I didn't see all the ones
of you and I.
You were looking at. Yeah, I didn't see all of those. Mine ran out. Anyway, let's do the words.
Shall we do the words?
Yeah.
You seem down, Reid. Is everything okay?
I'm distracted. I'm looking at the photos.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it?
Well,
You know what I'm saying.
there's a picture of me, you, and Uke. Maybe he'll look at that and be happy now.
Oh, I did see that one, yeah.
Maybe he'll
hey, there's
come
Jasmine.
around.
Hey, there's the front row. There's Curtis Haraxi. Okay, anyway, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, first word of the day, furtive. Furtive.
Furtive. And I believe this is something subtle and communicating suspicion, like a furtive glance.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not as dumb as I look.
One of these, surely, what is it? You can't, nobody can be that dumb.
Right.
Yeah, I finally got it.
If somebody ever says to you, not as dumb as I look, you say, well, no one can be that dumb.
One of the, a furtive glance. That's what was used as one of the...
Yeah, because I know stuff.
Done in a quiet and secretive way to avoid being noticed.
Okay, yeah. So to avoid being noticed.
Oh, shoot.
What?
I just closed down my second word of the day.
Oh, we got to bring it back.
Oh, man. Hang on a sec. Everybody. Bear with me.
Big Uke's okay. He's okay.
Is he? Okay, second word of the day, nonpareil. Nonpareil.
I think it is Nonpareil.
Say that again.
Nonpareil.
Wow, that's a banger. I didn't give you much hope on that. Sorry.
Hey, well, I surprised everybody.
But you know things.
Yeah, I do know things. I think it means... Does it sort of mean like unmatched or in a class all of its own?
Jeez. I was going to say...
Who do you think you are? I am!
To you, Def Leppard is nonpareil.
Yes.
Nonpareil describes that which has no equal because it is better than any other. Good job, Reid. Proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself as well. Just got to reply to some people in the nasty chat here. Hold on, it's hard for me to do both.
You have a picture in here of you in front of you. You're on the big screen at the Estes, and you're at the podium speaking. Quite impressive.
This Dr. Doom fellow in the nasty chat says that I interviewed them in Lloyd when they were in elementary school.
What?
Wow. Wonder who that was.
Kit Scotty, technically not Lloyd, he says.
Why was I at the Kit Scotty Elementary School? You have to send me an email, Dr. Doom. Read at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Well, it's actually Dr. Doom.
Doom with an extra O. Not a fan of us generally, though. Though I guess...
Well, today, you know, and people are a little spicy. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? As Cody Fajardo says, the sun will rise tomorrow.
It probably will.
Probably
And I'll
will.
find more ways to irritate people.
Yes, you will.
2 points for a field goal, everybody. It should happen. All right. On behalf of the Coob and the Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Take care.